I want to do a PSA before we get going here. Some things that we say here are going to offend many people. And if you're not ready to hear some of these things that are going to be said and you're going to get butthurt over it, this will not be the day for you. And I suggest you come back on Monday so that you can get a fresh start, because this is going to be a little bumpy here. Super chats go to the top, like you see Kyle here. And please hit that like button. Many of you maybe hit the dislike button today. There's no excuse to lose to a scout team. I don't care about your fucking injuries. I saw the Buccaneers go up to Seattle with no Bucky Irvin, Mike Evans, no right tackle, no right guard, a lost defensive tackle, and win football games. This is part of it, man. 34-17, you were annihilated by the shitty New York Giants. I don't know where to go, but I know where to start. Unacceptable. The quarterback play. One, we told you from day one, he's limited in what he can do in the pocket. He's regressing. I don't care how you underline it or whether you like it or not. He's regressing. Two, you didn't replace the defensive football players that we said you wouldn't do. You did not replace them. Not one of them. You sat and you argued with me the entire time in the offseason, telling me you were going to replace these guys. I was telling you all this year looks like 23. No one believed me, forgot Super Bowl contender. This team will be lucky to be 500. Xander, I just missed the Super. Supers go to the top, and I know they're going to come fast here. Why is there always locker room issues with our franchise? Quarterbacks, Nick Nab and Wentz, now Hurts. And why do we always struggle after a Super Bowl? 18, 23, 25. Ask the other teams. They all struggle too, my friend. Your offensive coordinator, as we said, is unqualified. And the effort of the football team is on the head coach. End of story. End of story. Those are your four things we took away from the game last night. So let's start with effort. So I guess after Quinyon Mitchell went out, and I guess after they got in a substantial lead on you, the Philadelphia Eagles laid down? Bro, if you lay down for the Giants, you'll lay down for anybody. That's not a very good team right now. By the way, I don't think 23 is coming with a string of nasty losses, but that was a 23 football game last night. You could have put that in the 2023 season anywhere you wanted in that losing streak. That looked exactly like that. The effort level sucked for a team that has given great effort. They looked tired last night. I think this guy's a good player. He's not exceptional. He ran you over. Zach Bond was knocked into Passaic. I mean, seriously, this guy was knocked into Patterson, New Jersey. He got fucking decleated. Effort. Guys getting blown off the ball by backup tight ends. Effort. This is 2018 all over again. Ringo's ass. I haven't even gotten to the defense yet. Hit the like button. Hit the dislike button. I don't give a shit. Your offensive play caller is not qualified to call football plays. Zone runs, zone runs, zone runs. They do it because the damn quarterback can't do balance. Whoever said that Kevin Patullo would be an easy transition? We told you in the offseason this was never going to be an easy transition. If you had to win, all those topics we brought up with you, talking with Xander and all of you, don't you remember me going, how do you think the transition's going to go? Well, if they do what they did last year, it'll be seamless. They're doing what they did last year. The last 2 games, they've pivoted by throwing more. And they've completely gotten away from the run game. And now you're losing. Gee, I wonder why. Because you're putting the game in the hands of the quarterback. And now you're losing games. Gee, really? He's thrown for over 200 some odd yards in the last 2 weeks. And you've lost in each of those games. Any coincidence? Probably not. Stupidity at its finest. The defense, it's a complete sieve. What did we tell you after the Broncos game? What did we tell you? The fourth quarter, unfortunately, I think are things to come. And you played 4 quarters against the Giants like that. You were drilled off the ball. I mean, a rookie quarterback took your D coordinator to school yesterday. Brian Dable coached the fucking pants off of Vic Fangio. This offense reminds me of the 21 season before Shane. Shane was actually there, but you mean the 20 season. Brian Johnson had the 8th ranked offense, not the 31st. The defense is terrible. Now, you're going to go, we didn't have Jalen Carter. We'd have Quinyon Mitchell. We don't have Nolan Smith. And you'll come up with all these fucking lame-ass excuses. Welcome to the NFL. Patullo's too inexperienced to hide the deficiencies of Hurts. And that's where Kellen Moore's strength was. Correct. And Barkley was having a great year. That's not the case now. Everything's being exposed. As much as it hurts to admit, your validity is impressive. Hypothetically, if our old line was healthy, do you still think this is horrible? No, because Barkley will be better if your old line is healthy. Your quarterback is never going to be what you hoped him to be. He will never be that guy. Okay? He's got massive deficiencies, but he's great in a simplistic. By the way, Lane Johnson, after the game last night, was talking about the predictability. Why? Because the quarterback can't run complex offenses. You know, when John McMullen says that this offense is not set up for passing, I don't know what John would think then. The New York Giants are not set up for passing. Without Malik Neighbors, that's an offense that's not set up to throw the ball because they don't have anybody. Howie's Temu signings, we haven't gotten to him yet. On defense, it's coming home to roost. That defense can't stop a nosebleed. Will Steen ever be set pre-snap? If Nick can't fix, you never replaced one player that you let walk out your door. Do you remember the phrase I used, blowtorch to your defense? There's the remaining parts of your defense that I said you took a blowtorch to. I said you took a blowtorch to your defense. Isn't that what you saw last night? A blowtorch defense. Now the quarterback. He's a better version of Tim Tebow. Winner, great character, all that stuff. He's a better passer than Tebow. Got a lot of the same characteristics of him. Throws the ball kind of like him, but he's better. He's a better thrower of the football. He's a better athlete. I mean, he's Tebow 2.0, but better. He's never going to be anything that you envision. The Josh Allens, the Joe Burrows. He's never going to be any of that. Why would you expect it? And they play call to it. You know how they build offenses around the skill set of the quarterback? This is what it is. Whether it's Kevin Patullo or anybody else moving forward, you're going to build the offense around the quarterback skill. This is what the quarterback can and can't do. He's not, by the way, the sacks continue. Why do I harp on sacks? It shows me what kind of presence he has in the pocket. Everyone on the team should be held accountable. Only guys I won't blame are Smith, Carter, Dickerson, Mitchell, because they didn't play. Chop off the doors again. Ski cop, chop all the doors off the hinges. Whip up the ball again. Trapping out loads. Not sure what this is, but life jacket, thank you for the super. So why has Jalen a good passer with Shane? Because the game was put in his hands to make in-game decisions with the RPOs. They feared him running the ball more. Jalen Hurts as a pocket passer is below average. Jalen Hurts, the RPO guy, is exceptional. You're going backwards with the kid again. You are trying to make him into something he's not capable of being. They knew this at Alabama. He is not capable. 22, I told you, would be the best version you ever saw of him. And you've never duplicated it. You've never duplicated it. He is not going to win from the pocket. When they started throwing the last 2 weeks, you've lost, and you've lost to lesser teams. Get this. Think of this right here. Chiefs, Cowboys, Rams, and Bucks. All good teams. Broncos, Giants, you started throwing the ball and you got beat. You think there's any coincidence to when you started throwing the ball, your quarterback's not capable of winning games? You think there's anything to that? He beat the Chiefs with 100 yards in offense. I should be used to. I should be used in rollouts more to hit midfield. Right, get them out in the perimeter. They're not creative because the quarterback's not capable. We're stout at that in solving basic issues like inside runs. That's a Howie thing. I'm not there yet. You guys, let's go there now. Howie Roseman and Associates. The general manager, all of you gave the benefit of the doubt to. Every one of you. Because you were on the parade route. You gave the guy the benefit of the doubt. And I asked you 3, 4, 5, 6 times. do you think your general manager was more concerned about 26 and 27 than 25? No, not at all. We're a contender. By the way, your 4-0 record, I told you, was fraudulent. September is a liar's month. I went on quarters. You know what I told? Do you remember what I kept saying to you? When all of you were posting your 4-0 fucking record. You know what you guys kept saying? 4-0, 4-0. You know what I kept doing? 8 quarters of football. 12 quarters of football. Right? 16 quarters of football. 20 quarters of football. Now what you've played is what? 24 quarters of football? Guys were posting. We're 4-0, Sills. Sills were 4-1. Sills were 4-2. Yeah, and you played shitty football the entire time. "24 quarters of football. Your offense is the worst in the league with contenders. That Minnesota team can beat you. If the Giants can beat you, Minnesota can beat you. I'm going to give you another analogy here. By the way, I'm still on my opening page here. How many people are in here remember when Mike Tyson fought Buster Douglas? My wife and I watched that. We missed the first couple rounds. Do you know what the aura was around Mike Tyson? Invincible. Nobody could beat him. Intimidating. He had that presence about him that nobody could step into the ring. People were I saw Peter McNeely in person look for a place in the corner of the ring to hide. Last night, the New York Giants, they tore that down on the Eagles. Your invincibility. You bleed. You lose. You can be beat. And not by a contender. Anybody that puts forth an effort, a good game plan, has a mobile quarterback, can fucking beat you. You're not invincible anymore. You've lost your invincibility that carried you in many games. You're not invincible. Tyson lost that night against Buster Douglas. You lost it last night against the New York Giants. You're in the room with everyone else now. And the NFC is wide open. Wide open. I think the Eagles are still in this. They're still in that room with those guys. But you got a lot of work. Addison and Jefferson will cook Ringo and Jackson. Ringo is not becoming of an NFL corner. Stop it. We told you that in training camp. Why didn't Vic ever go to that guy? By the way, I think Vic Fangio is exposing Howie Roseman. All the guys he replaced, the players that he had on that number 1 ranked defense a year ago, he's playing, and they're dog shit. I mean, there's no excuses. You're done with them. 2024 is a dream. It's a whole different world now. Your offensive line is bad. It's not. Jordan Mailata got the shit kicked out of him last night. Brian Burns ate him alive. I guarantee you someone off that defensive football team is going to be the defensive NFC player of the week. Cam Jurgens. I get it. Vita Vea, Bucks, Dexter Lawrence, Giants. Those are premier guys. Holy cow. Cam Jurgens got fucking ruined last night. He's lucky they didn't put him in intensive care by bending him over. I mean, You're not the bully anymore. You're being bullied. Oh, and let me put this back out to all who laughed at me again. If Washington wins this week, they're in first place. I believe it's Monday night versus the Bears. If they win Monday night, guess what? They're in first place in the NFC East. I ain't wrong. And they've weathered injuries. Philly Eagle. Thank you. Means a lot. Thank you. As the weeks go on, it's becoming evident that Jalen is just as much a problem as Patullo, especially in the offense. He's missing wide open receivers. He's not reading the field. If you can ask your franchise quarterback to win the game, then you don't have a franchise quarterback. You're right. You're not wrong. He's limited, Philly Eagle. He's limited. Thank you. Thank you very much. Means a lot. Xander, I missed a couple supers here. We want to make sure we hit them all here. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. I know that this is some shit here, man. We missed some supers, Xander. I want to make sure we hit them here. Anthony, thank you. 23, every snap and gun. By the way, that is dead. You're right. Every single snap and gun. Because the quarterback doesn't like to get under center? No, you know why? Because the quarterback can't process the defense and read defenses. That's why he's in gun. He's in gun because he can't read defenses. It's the same thing. Nick doesn't hire staff. How he does, and he didn't learn his OC, should have been a proven play caller, not this nobody. What's your take on Adoree on the goal line? My take on Adoree anywhere on the field, he's dog shit. I missed the super. I missed another one, I believe. You know what happens when Superman gets exposed by the green kryptonite? That's what the Eagles look like. HBO Hard Knocks on NFC East coming out in a few weeks. Don't worry, they won't say shit. Not like we do here. Dude, you know what? I hate to be the guy that keeps bringing up, I told you so. I've never wavered on my take with Jalen Hurts. I've never wavered. Even when he won the Super Bowl MVP. I've never wavered. He's limited. And they win games around his limitations. And when you don't have everyone in place, defensively, offensively, he loses ball games. I'm not sure what else to say. Everything has been exposed because of 2024. Because you were so reliant on one part of your team, you forgot to develop the other part called balance. Not a passing game. You forgot to develop balance. Remember I asked you a couple days ago, I know you guys think that I throw these fucking topics out just to throw conversation out. Remember I asked you, who are these guys hiring these coordinators for? Jalen or Nick? They're hiring these guys for Nick, not Jalen. And you know what the sad thing about this whole shit is? You got so many good football players. What a waste. What a criminal waste to put limited coaches around these great players. I'm not talking about it. You know what the waste is on defense? Giving Vic Fangio shitty ball players and not doing your best to give him players that he can win games with. Now we go to Howie Roseman. Huss, you get an F in the offseason. You have an F. You didn't bring one dude to the football team with one redeeming quality outside of Jahad Campbell, that it was a viable replacement for all the talent that you lost. You have a guy that was a second-team player playing corner for you a year ago that's probably going to be the first-team All-Pro cornerback playing in Minnesota right now, who you're going to see this weekend. Isaiah Rodgers. Not bad. How bad is it that AJ said he wasn't in the meeting? I'm going to get to that stupid shit in a minute. Hey, by the way, he is an infant. I am sick of this. He talks like a 10-year-old. But Jalen is good pre-snap. Howie Roseman. Replacing Milton Williams. F. Josh Sweat. Replacing him. F. Replacing Gardner Johnson. F. Replacing Slay. F. All of that. F. Hey, every year it's a new football team. You don't get extra credit because you won the Super Bowl. Do I think he can fix this? Yes, I do. But he got a little over his skis, worrying about 26 and 27. By the way, you know what else is becoming apparent? All of you wanted to rush to sign Jordan Davis to a contract extension. He got the shit beat out of him last night by a dude they activated off the practice squad 3 days earlier. Are you really sure you want to pay that guy $20-some-odd million? Are you dead sure of that? I know I wouldn't. The guy you let go to New England should have been the guy you signed. And Davis should have been the guy you let go. Howie doing the same thing to Vic. The same how the Eagles did to the coordinators, who's now with the Colts. Yes. Yes, the Italian dude who's now over there. They got out Golden in Cincinnati. Yes. Same regime threw Foles and Wentz under the bus. How long before they throw Jalen? Wow. Great take, Anthony. Ask Doug Peterson, too. The similarities of 18 and 25 are here. Oh, my God. They're going to give this process. Let me ask you this right now. I wouldn't give Jalen Hurts an extension. I wouldn't give him an extension right now. Not if he can't make the star players I have on my football team better. I'm looking to upgrade. You went from being one of the most iconic football teams I've ever seen in the Super Bowl era and in the salary cap era to self-inflicted sabotage. You sabotaged your own team. And you know what the line is? I can't pay them all. Well, can you pay some? They were so egotistical thinking that Keely Ringo was going to be a replacement for Slay. That Hunt and Nolan, who I told you was not a 17-game player. You guys remember me telling you all these things during this offseason? Do you remember all this stuff? I said that, what's his name? Nolan Smith wouldn't make 17 games. Oh, no, he's a 17. I'm like, that guy has to show me he can play 17 games. And he can't. I said, you're not replacing those guys you lost. I had people telling me, Milton's just a dude. Well, what's your replacement? You don't have a guy. Hard to fix a divided locker room. I'm not sure it's simple as making a couple trades. Our problems are rooted from within. Yeah. Your head football coach doesn't stick up for your players. He sticks up for management, along with your quarterback. Your quarterback and your head coach are on one side of the room, and the players are on the other side. I told you that the other day. When Jalen Hurts and the coach are answering questions and being asked things, they answer the same way. When you ask the players, there's a completely different conversation. You could see them on the sidelines, their body language. They're not on the same page with this guy. And you know why they're frustrated? A.J. Brown, it's not that he hates Jalen Hurts. He hates Jalen Hurts, can't make him a star. And some of you are going to go, Sills, he had his most productive years with Jalen with 1,500 yards. Yeah. That's right. League caught up with him like they caught up with Wentz. Hurts hasn't evolved. That's on the organization too. Hiring the shitty coordinators. You could blame your own coaching staff and Howie Roseman and management for not developing Hurts. This is Wentz 2.0. Do you not see it? Or are you blind with your green shades on? Are you blind? This is Carson Wentz 2.0. You're not some developer of quarterbacks. You believe your organization wins. You don't believe coaches win. You don't believe players win. You believe you put everybody in a place and that organizations win games. That's why your quarterbacks look so good for a short period of time, and then they look like dog shit after. They're not developing him. They stopped. When they went to Saquon Barkley last year, they stopped caring about Hurts as the quarterback. And when you want him to go out and win a game and throwing the ball, when you haven't developed him in a year and a half, what did you expect? Him to go out there and throw for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns and a comeback victory? Who the fuck do you think he is? Josh Allen? Does it feel like the Eagles have developed Jalen? No, well, they did in 22. The best thing that I kept telling you, the greatest version of that guy, when Jalen played like the 22 Jalen in the Super Bowl, that guy is great. If you're going to try to have him win from the pocket, bro, give me Baker Mayfield any day. Love this show. Thank you, Peter. Howie did a horseshit job this offseason. Makuba last night was exposed by Jackson Dart and Brian Dable. Okay? Guess. Zach Bond got rolled. Shit, Cooper DeZine got ran over. So, Sills, what is the answer? There's no answer right now except health. Get your guys back. Somebody has to be a lead. Can I tell you what the problem with your leadership is? Somebody write over here how many leaders you fucking have. Fizz, I'm going to get to that and get to your answer here. How many captains do they have? in that locker room. Okay, I'll take that back. Senor, who have they named captain with the C's with on their chest or supposedly like hockey has? Who are the leaders? That's right. Who are these fraudulent captains that you have? By the way, I'm also going to talk about Nick here in a minute. A.J. Brown's one. A.J. Brown's a 10-year-old. Jake Elliott, fuck that. Lane, where are you, Lane? Mulata, okay. Reed Blankenship is a captain. Reed Blankenship is dog shit. Wow. You don't have leaders. You're a leaderless football team. From the quarterback down. It's a fraudulent culture that Nick lies about every day. You know what your culture is? Whatever management says. That's your culture. Do you think they will do Nick like Doug? Of course they will. Absolutely. Nick's not going to be, he'll be sacrificed too. We got one spitter and a bunch of quitters. I'm not resigning Reed. He's horrible. Really? That's right. I'd bring CJ back. Nothing to lose. He actually has heart. His team is soft. Ringo and Adoree have to go, Sills. Thank you. Let me get to Nick Sirianni now. He's lost the locker room. Your head coach has lost the locker room. Let's write it down on paper. You tell me if you think. Starts out with Carter spitting on someone. Character. AJ bitching about the offense, tweeting out shit. Powwow meetings. Right? Powwow meetings. AJ has to walk shit back in the locker room. Nick barking at Mayfield. Nick defending Kevin Patullo. Last night's performance in quitting. That guy's lost the fucking locker room. He doesn't have a pulse on it. He's a fucking fraud. That guy's not a head coach. He's a mouthpiece. Tell me I'm wrong. He's a mouthpiece. Big Sills, I was wrong. We didn't replace the guys. We lost. The OC's clueless. Hurts is horrible last night. And these players are now quitting on the coach. You're right. I'm wrong. Philly, I don't think you were wrong in the premise of giving an organization who has won a lot of football games with the way they think. I don't believe you're wrong. But I don't think that you can repeat magic every single year the same way. And they think that their way of doing business can be done every way at the same time every year. Let me show you this. Philly, think about this for a second. So 2022 was spectacular. 23 was an abomination. 24, he hit on everything. And 25, He's so, as of right now, missing on everything. Why do you think that is? They believe in their own process. They don't believe in player development. There's a reason I kept asking the folks on the other side, how come no players get second contracts on defense? Nobody gets a second contract that they drafted, like ever. There's not one player that's playing on defense that got a second contract that they drafted. Not fucking one. By the way, to Philly's point here, when Herbstreit said that on the air last night, how many games do you think Kirk Herbstreit, between pro ball and college ball, how many games do you think he's watched? You think he knows when a team puts their hand up and surrenders? When he said that on national television last night, I was like this, what an indictment on Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni's team quit on him. You're going to try to fucking tell me that that guy's got a pulse of his fucking team when his team quit in a divisional game on Thursday Night Football? Really? Where's this great Hall of Fame guy, Ruben? Ruben Franks thinks that fucker's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Are you crazy? He's not a coach. That guy's a librarian. His phony ass rah-rah speeches, like he's like, they're bullshit. Sills last nightly showed us that everything A.J. Brown been trying to tell us for the last year and a half finally came to bite us. This is what he's been telling us. He was right all along. Bro, he don't hate Jalen Hurts. He hates Jalen Hurts, the quarterback. Yeah, you could save that bullshit for fucking some plaque somewhere in some high school. Harry High School. Hey, man, give one for the effort. Play one for the Gipper. Whatever. Pay me on Tuesdays. Hey, my wife's got a great line. You know what it is? You know how I know you love me? My direct deposit's on Tuesday. That's how I know you love me. We have a quarterback that can't see the field. 5 years from now, right, totally been exposed. Bro, he's limited. Okay? He's limited. Limited. When he called plays, how did they do? You know he was intervening in 23. He's doing it now. If we lose to the Vikings, this season is over. Hey, get this. If you blow out the Giants, congratulations. You split with the Giants. Congratulations. If you would have told me the 6 teams that you had lined up at the beginning of the year and at the Broncos and the Giants, this got 23 all over it again. Remember the teams you beat in 23? Bills, the 12-win Cowboy team. Who else was in that? Dolphins were putting a lot of points up. You beat the Bucks, right? You beat a bunch of really good teams. Then you started losing to Seattle, Arizona. You beat the Chiefs, that's right. Then you started losing to shitty teams. I don't know. I told you that fourth quarter versus the Broncos was going to tell me a lot. And it sure did. I remember I said it. You didn't want to hear it. You kind of, sometimes when I'm talking, people just kind of are now like glazing over what I fucking say with that. I told you, people are going like, hey, I think what they saw in that Denver game, we're going to probably see. and you're looking at the glass half full. I looked at it, went, I think that's a sign of things to come. That was a sign of things to come. Nick Sirianni's lost his locker room like he did in 23. Who in their right mind thinks A.J. Brown's listening to him? A.J. Brown tweets out after the game, and the Eagles went out of their way to make sure that you knew it was a meeting about, offense, getting everyone together. A.J. said, I don't remember a meeting like that. Because you know what they phrased it? They didn't phrase it correctly. A.J. doesn't remember a meeting about the offense. Now, if you want to talk about a meeting between his relationship with A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, if we had any kind of media in this town, you would have asked that follow-up question. Was it a personality meeting? What is it about you and Jalen Hurts and your relationship? They didn't ask that. You know why? Because the Eagles got in the way and made sure that question wasn't asked. It's fucking fraudulent. That whole fucking thing was a setup, and you bite it. This is probably really good for the team. I'm like, what? This was set up. This was television manufactured at its best. And you bid it because you know why? You give the Birds and the organization the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say something here, and I'm going to defend John McMullen. John McMullen has the toughest job in Philly. You know why? Because of me. He does. He's got to walk a fucking line and cover the team. I love the fact that he was at MetLife last night. It's fucking great for our channel. He's got great insight. But they limit these guys from saying anything about Hurts or the coach or the organization or anything that would make the organization look in a bad light. Like Nick has lost his locker room. You don't want to hear that players have a problem with the coach or the quarterback. It's going to be more about team getting together and teammates being teammates. Hey, Jalen, you're such a fucking liar. Teammates being teammates? That's not what AJ said. That's not how he presented it. Why does Laurie have a sour look on his face in the owner's box when he signed off on this process with coaches and OC hiring? He has done it before. No, Mikey, I get it. I bit. Not going to lie. I put ketchup and mustard on it. Xander, I missed the super. Thank you, Philly. I appreciate you being here, brother. I know you went off too, dude. No, the one before this. Yeah, no, I know. Hey, brother, I'm good. Seals, keep it a buck. Haven't you lost games you should have dominated in? We love this team. Not you, but we do. Since we have the answers, that now. Since you have the answers, what now? Since I have the answers, what now? Okay. I don't have the answers. I'm not paid $16 million to have answers. You're fucking coach, and you call a Super Bowl champion coach telling me that he's a generational coach and that he's a Hall of Fame coach should have the fucking answers, not me. Hey, man, that's your boy's job. Me? Stop lying. Can't, though, because that's what he's in. He's in a revolving cesspool, dude. He'll never be Sirianni will never be the coach he wants to be until he leaves. Well, how we make a big move to change the narrative? What move would change the narrative? Myles Garrett? Only NFL fans think they're hypercritical, but it's only because we always look at our team through a Super Bowl standard. Actually, I do something none of you do in here. I look at your last 24 quarters of football. You're the ones looking at fraudulent records. Doesn't it ever dawn on you that the team usually with the best regular season record doesn't win the Super Bowl? Haven't it ever dawned on you on that? That the team that traditionally has the best regular season doesn't win the Super Bowl. It's more about how you're playing. The so-called stats, which I call trends, lead me to believe how you're playing. Hit the like button, guys. Appreciate your honesty today. This bullshit is what Howie paid for. Correct. Bro, he had a shit offseason. In 24, it was, hey, how about this, Jeff? How about this, Jeff? That 2024 season that Howie Roseman had with Zach Bond and Becton and Barkley and Rodgers and all them dudes is such a high point. He'll never do that ever again. With all those hits like that and all those guys who went on to iconic seasons, you never do that in free agency. It was a one-off. Sills, I don't always agree with your takes, but I appreciate you keeping it 100. I knew we would lose to the Giants, but not that bad. We're in trouble. Man, you're one up on me, my friend. I didn't think there was a fucking chance in hell that Giants team was anywhere near your scout team, let alone beating the guys you lined up last night. You mean to tell me you're 3 players away from the Giants? Is that what you're trying to imply to me? That because you didn't have Quinyon Mitchell, Jalen Carter, and Landon Dickerson, you're 3 players away from being the New York Giants? Is that what you're trying to tell me? That the Giants are only 3 players away? Seriously, is that what you're telling me? That you're those 3 players? They say we're spoiled, Sills. A little bit. Now we could see the bullshit. And 4-2 isn't how we're playing. We were playing 1-5 football. Dirty D. Let me do this, though. Flip this around and go, thank God you're 4-2. You're fucking still in it. Look at it that way. I heard John say this. You could take away from the fact that the offense showed some signs of life last night. It's because he was critical of Hurts 3 days earlier. I mean, I'm going to leave it there. Anyone screaming Jalen is the problem needs to stay a fan and not in the NFL front office or locker room. Anyone screaming Jalen is the problem needs to stay a fan. Dude, your offense will always be what it is because Jalen Hurts is just a limited quarterback. I've said that since 2021, and I've never wavered. Even when he won the MVP award. I've never wavered. And I won't waver. Keep it a buck. Rams should have beaten us. Cowboys outplayed us too. That's 2-4. Again, guys, you've played 24 quarters of football. How do you give yourself a grade? Give yourself a grade on 24 quarters of football. What happens is if we don't figure it out and we go 4-13? That's not happening. Bro, you're not a 4-13 team. You're just not a 13-win team. QB1 has to win that game. These are the games he needs to carry the team to the finish line. When the Eagles struggle with a bad team, he has to win. Jackson Dart also schooled with Brian Dable, Vic Fangio. Jalen Hurts is limited. He doesn't have the right coach in the building. Correct. That's right. If he's limited, get him a coach that knows how to accentuate his strengths and coach around those limitations like they did a year ago. Kellen Moore knew to coach around those deficiencies. And you had a running back that was producing. Hey, by the way, remember when I told you guys about Barkley coming back off a 2,000-yard season? I told you he'd be under 1,400 yards. Guy's not going for $2,000 again. Get a damn RPO coordinator. Dude, go get a college guy. Hire a college guy. They run RPOs in college every day. That's the thing we always play down to our competition. I don't know. When's the last time you had a shitty loss like that? When's the last time you lost to a team that will pick fit? By the way, that Giant team, guys, that Giant team, are you under the impression they're a playoff team? They'll be picking in the top 10 in the draft next April. The Giants aren't good. You think all of a sudden, because they won that game, that they're going to turn around and win 10 ball games? That's not a 10. They'll be lucky to win 7 games this year. They were 1-4. They lost to the Saints. Sills, please rip Ringo. He's the worst DB I've seen. I don't know, Nick, how many times I could sit here and tell you about the guy. I've been telling you for 7 months. He's not going to replace that guy. You know why I knew that? Vic never liked him a year ago. He's been on the team 15 fucking years. Another miss. Sills, the guys we lost put balance to this team. There's a handful of great players, and the 6th and 7th round guys. Dude, you guys just thought, remember when people were saying, Sills, you think Milton Williams is some superstar? I do. I do think he's a great player. It's playing out New England. You know what sucks about that move, too? So you drafted him. Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys drafted him in the 3rd round, right? 3rd round pick. You developed him. You gave him a chance to become a player. He started for you. He excelled. He was on the #1 defensive team. And you let him walk out the room before you offered him a second contract? Why? Well, we didn't want to pay that much. Okay. I guarantee you if he was an offensive guard, you would have. Right? Because the quarterback needs him. Isn't that right? If Milton Williams was an OG, an offensive guard or offensive tackle, you would have signed him to that contract. But because he was a defensive player, you let him walk out the building. Okay? That's a major fucking miss. 26 years old. He's going into his prime. You developed him. You know what the Eagles did? They developed him for the Patriots. And now he's helping them win potentially an AFC East crown. Temple has a better D-line right now. Fuck you. Xander, I missed the super. Guys, I appreciate all these supers. Thank you very much. We'll have Xander at the bottom of the hour too, man. Then we'll have Mike North with us at 4:30. The Huff deal messed us up keeping Milton. Probably so. But then when you traded Huff, I mean, you should have kept Josh Sweat, no? Josh Sweat wasn't expensive. Look at this, too. Think about this. All right, say you didn't want to keep Milton Williams and he was too pricey for you. Sweat for 20, you paid Huff 17.5. Becton 10, couldn't do that. Gardner Johnson 7. Hey, what? Isaiah signed for 7 too. I don't know. And because you thought Keely Ringo, Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, Howie Roseman, his ego got the best of him this offseason. His ego got the best of him. He started reading his press clippings and believing that he was this absolute guru of draft picks. You know how many times I kept telling you? You guys kept saying this to me about how he's just nailing these draft picks. Jordan Davis is not a Grand Slam win. He's okay. Sidney Brown's a bust. He's a third-round pick. Okay, he's a third-round pick. He's a bust. He can't tackle. Nolan Smith can't stay healthy. Nakobe Dean is a good player who you can't use. Those are great picks. Sills, he wasn't wrong in his talent evaluation. Well, for some reason, those guys can't play. I'm no interest in this guy. Howie bet on his draft picks. And all those people walk. Obviously, he didn't do his homework. He did do his homework. Big Sills. We paid Bryce Huff before Milton Williams. I know. But just like when you had Hassan Reddick, you got rid of Reddick and then you signed Huff. And you basically just switched the money. You could have did the same thing with Josh Sweat. Got rid of him and given Josh Sweat the money. Like you traded when you traded him to San Francisco. He is good. I don't know, great. He is like Mike Allstott a little. Let a lot of good players leave, and expecting the depth to fill the same level of play is insanity. Landon Dickerson, great pick, but also can't stay healthy. Landon is a great pick. Second rounder, one of the top 3 players. Xander made a point yesterday about all the players that are missed. I'm going to show you something else. Add it this way to you because I said this on the postgame show. Let's do this. Milton, Josh, CJ, Slay, those 4 guys. Then you add Nolan Smith. Then you add Carter. Okay? Slay, CJ, Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, Jalen Carter, and Nolan Smith. You pull those guys off of defense, you're not beating that shitty Giants team. That's what you went into the game with. Remember I told you about talent levels when guys are missing? I mean, you're telling me that last night the Giants had more talent than you? What happened? And then you quit. I want to make Philadelphia get a message here. Hey, Philly, your football team quit. They quit on their coach. The coach you kept telling me, who's the best guy in franchise history with the best win percentage. They quit. They quit on your coach. He has the locker room? Explain that to me. O-line is bad right now. Brett told guy blows. You know why the media people in Philly can't tell you that the team quit? You know why they won't tell you? It's an indictment on the coach. It would be throwing a rock at the coach. You think anybody at WIP is going to ever say the things we're saying here? That they didn't quit? No way. The organization would never allow one of those hosts to go on the air and tell you the Civic Pride football team that is in your city, okay, laid down when they were getting their asses kicked. We just tell you the truth here. Hey, dude, I don't mind getting beat. You know, one of the things I'm so proud of my daughter about, I've never seen my kid quit in her entire fucking life. She plays hard, no matter if the score's 52-0 or 0-52. She's got an innate thing in her that will refuse to quit. She can't be replaced. Every game, every team I've ever seen her on, they use 6 guys to try to fill her role. It's fucking crazy. You know, I always say people are replaceable. Not everyone. I fucking hate quitters. Dude, go down with the ship, man. Give your best effort always. Because it's an indictment on your character. If you allow others around you to drag you down, you're a follower. You're not a leader. Stills, overall, this is still a good team. They are seasoned, but at the same time, they're young and still immature. We don't have the elder leaders on this team, and that matters. I completely agree with you, Paul. Those C's that you have on these guys, A.J. Brown's an infant. One of your team leaders sits down as like a pen pal guy with X every week about the ills of the team, the ills of the quarterback. What's he, fucking Dear Abby? I mean, dude, what's your problem? I mean, this kid's like 10 years old. He's not a leader. Hey, get this. And the guy you don't put a C on, Devontae Smith, who says shit and goes out and plays his ass, he's one of the best leaders on your team. Leads by example, doesn't create bullshit when he's got something to say. It's more, I think it's stronger than anything AJ ever says. When he said something last weekend, I was like, whoa. What did Devontae say? He got my attention. AJ doesn't get my attention. It's white noise now. He's a chin wagger. Devontae said something. I went, what? What'd he say? Everyone in that locker room would have went, okay, wait, Devontae said something. Never forget that Andy Reid put in the culture and the blueprint for this team's success. That's a fact, despite not winning a Super Bowl. You're correct. And what basically Jeffrey Lurie's done is he's acted like Ray Kroc. You ever see that movie, The Founder? Ray Kroc took credit for the McDonald brothers and all the things that they did with McDonald's, fast service, all that stuff. He expanded McDonald's. He didn't find it. He wasn't the guy that created it. He stole it. It's kind of what Jeffrey Lurie's done. He stole Andy Reid's blueprint, put it in place, and called it his own. I'm rooting against the Eagles so that Nick Kotai can finally be fired, along with garbage-ass Batulip. I hope the Vikings stomp the Eagles next week. Don't do that, man. Dude, I don't want to cover a shitty team, man. I don't want to cover a shitty team. You're not shitty. You're not. You're just full of yourselves. You're full of yourselves. Tell you what, you know a guy that I really like, we get on this program all the time, Philly 500. You know, and he comes in and he's such a great dude to us. And he's got great takes. Great takes. And when a guy like that admits all that shit, you've lost him. If you've lost that guy, you got a tough putt to get him back. That guy's not going to flip-flop back and forth. You got a tough putt to get him back. And many of you in here. Seals, are we just used to winning? Sean, I think you're used to winning. And when it's not right, can I tell you what I think you guys have become? Derek Jeter Yankee fans. When not one championship was suffice for that Yankee group. Nobody was ever satisfied during the Yankee era with Jeter, Joe Torre, and them guys. Nobody was ever satisfied. They shouldn't have been. Everybody was over. Dude, as soon as the Yankees won, the big thing right after the series, day after the series, hey, can we do it again? I mean, Sills, it's going to take a whole new operation for me to be satisfied. Let me tell you something. When you're losing people like Twiz, and I'm not saying he did. I don't want to speak for him because I haven't read it yet. And Philly 500's questioning your process now? Dude, I swear to Jesus, man, I did not want to be the guy to tell you I told you so. Because that's lame, and I hate that guy. I do. I'd rather be wrong. Dude, you know one of the coolest times for me was last year when I was wrong. 23 wasn't fun. After it became evident what I said was right and you were melting down, that wasn't cool. I wasn't rooting for you to lose. I was rooting for you to turn it around. I don't root for you to lose. That's never been in my DNA. Dude, I'm sitting around going, hey, Eagle fans, I hope you lose. That's not going to fucking go down that way. I don't see us getting much better O-line or D-line in shambles, let alone a quarterback and wide receiver problems. Add the secondary depth. We aren't a playoff team. Holy fuck, man. Dude, that's Twiz who fights me every day. Thank you, Trevor. I get demoralized and report because I let people sneak this guy claiming he's okay. So you Philly goes through the same stuff. He gets demonized. I get it. I hear you, brother. Let me tell you something here, man. I like his takes. Definitely a playoff team, but that's a good question. I haven't even gotten to my topics yet. Look at this. Xander's going to join us in a couple minutes. You think this is a playoff team? By the way, you're not playing playoff football. You think this is a playoff team? Or Ryan Hurts, maybe MVP 6 times. Sills, Philly media doesn't need to tell us something we watched with our own eyes. They quit. They're never going to tell you that, though, because if they go on the air, the Eagles and Bob Lang will call those people immediately and have them retract what they said. Sad shape your Philly media is in. It's fucking in a sad place. You can't do your job. Not at this rate, Sills. Eagle coaches have lost me believing in them. Fans giving up on the team is going to bleed into the locker room. We all know their dumbasses listen to the fans too much. Well, then that's a character problem. And that's the coach's responsibility to put the noise out. Why do you think they try shutting my show down? Guys, they hate my show with a passion. They can't stand I tell the truth. Imagine that. They can't stand the truth. When somebody says fucking anything that is honest. I can't tell the truth. Well, I can't do sports talk radio in Philly. We go to the playoffs, we lose like Tampa 24. Love your show. Never get a thumbs down from me, brother. Thank you very much, Joey. That means a lot. Guys, do me a favor. Xander, I got another super here that just came in after or before this one here. Joey, thank you. Guys, these things really mean a lot, man. I appreciate it. Guys, I'm just being brutally honest with you. Big Dom going to show up with a couple guys if the media says they quit. Yeah. Not at this rate, Sills. Eagles coaches have lost me believing in them. Jalen Hurts has regressed as a quarterback. Totally. He struggles in the pocket. He's not very accurate on deep throws. He misses wide open wide receivers. I mean, I'm not sure what else to say. I mean, Kurt Warner. First, let's be real and say the throw on the bottom is definitely an option versus man in blitz zero. But I can't agree on the throw to AJ. That throw to AJ where that pick went back the other way and almost was a pick six. How do you not see the guy wide open running down the back of the end zone and walking into the end zone? How do you not fucking see that? I mean, Jackson Dart played his pants off last night. Not today, Sills. Media ripping the Eagles, saying they totally gave up. You know what's crazy? Anybody who covers the team can't say that. So if anybody who covers the team are not allowed to say that because it's a shot at Nick, things coming out of the organization, why do you believe them? Any answers? It's like you're not allowed to say that. Fuck that. Can we talk about how Nick's scheme never fit Hurts? It's built for people like Rivers, Paul, correct. That's why these coordinators are not hired for Jalen. They're hired for Nick. And it's up to the coordinators that they hired to adapt around the deficiencies. Isn't it funny? Think about this, Paul, for a second. As soon as they found a viable way not to win games with the quarterback, namely Saquon Barkley, they pivoted immediately. When they knew they could win at a better rate with Barkley than with Hurts, they pivoted. Now that the run game in the O-line is not, they have to pivot back, and they have the last 2 weeks. You know, I heard Xander and John talking about pivoting. They have. The last 2 weeks, they've thrown the ball and lost because the run game's not there. This is 2024, the first 4 games. Doesn't it look like it? How do you not see that? This looks like the first 4 games of last year. Big Dom is still employed. Is proof Nick's dunce cap. If the Birds had McDaniels to develop Jalen, those limits would be less obvious. Gardner, I'll tell you this. Hiring a guy like Josh McDaniels as your coach is a disaster. Hiring him as your coordinator would be brilliant. Jalen Hurts has no passion and I don't subscribe to that. Look, I'm going to criticize where need be. I'm not just going to blanketly criticize the guy when it's unjust. Saying that the guy has limitations is one thing. Saying the guy's not a winner or saying the guy has a loser mentality is ridiculous. Come on. Let's be objective, not over or hyperbolic here on this. Fumbled 2 times in the last 10 minutes of a game. Okay, that's fair. Why not let Jalen pick the coordinators that fit their style of play? I don't know. Before the last 2 games, when was the last time Hurts missed a wide open deep ball? Hurts has issues, but let's not get overboard. Then why do you have last year the 29th ranked passing offense, and this year you have arguably the worst offense of any contending football team in the league? Any answers, Marcus? Marcus, if those are true, and why don't they? I mean, why is the offensive passing game terrible? Any reasoning for it? Let me guess. You blame the coordinator. Well, the coordinator we told you in the beginning was not competent. Okay, fair enough. Sure. Anybody who's been around Josh Allen, like a Joe Brady, Todd Monken, but those guys would have to be hired as head football coaches. You can't make lateral moves unless they get fired. And Joe Brady is forever now. If McDermott ever gets fired, Joe Brady's the head football coach of the Buffalo Bills. because he has turned Josh Allen around. Okay? Those guys are looking for head coaching jobs. Seals, KP's been the passing coordinator the last 4 years. Really think about it. He's been a passing coordinator? Dude, he's been in the building, but he's not called plays. He's been in the building helping construct the offense. Being a play caller? Hey, just because you can think that there's a painting on what you want to draw doesn't mean you can draw it. This team with a bad OC is the Titans with Tannehill, Henry, and AJ. They knew this. They hire guys that don't know what they're doing. No. They hire guys to help Nick. Josh, thank you. Appreciate it. Sills, it's time to hit the panic button. Howie overvalued his picks. KP runs a high school offense, and Jalen has 7 seconds back there and can't find a wide receiver. Hey, Josh, I thought the guy was going to hold a convention a couple times back there in the pocket. I'll say this to you. The offensive pass protection last night wasn't the issue. It was Jalen Hurts. I thought the O-line did a pretty decent job last night in pass protection. With all the losses and the guys who are banged up, that's about as good as you could expect. Jesus criminy. Holy shit, man. You want to make excuses? Turn on Philly radio. Well, the guy, Nick, here's my hit list. Nick Sirianni lost his fucking team. Kevin Petula is unqualified to be an offensive play caller. Jalen Hurts is limited in being a pocket passer. AJ's 14 years old. And your defense and your general manager shit the bed in the offseason. Class dismissed. I mean, class adjourned. Agreed. Too bad the quarterback can't read a defense. Thank you, Josh. All right. Listen, I want to make this very clear before we bring Xander on here. Everyone had the right to give Howie the benefit of the doubt this offseason. You had to. You had to give him the benefit because you assumed that they weren't going to let this thing fall down as much as they did. You know what, too? If you had lost to the Rams and the Broncos, you know what I'd be doing today? Those are good football teams. You can't lose to a JV football team. The guy Scatterboo rips his fucking shirt off sitting there in the post game, and he's going, Scatterboo! And you know what he's doing? He's running over Mr. Hollywood, Cooper DeJean, and he's running. Zach Bond better check his chicklets because homie put that dude, he was on the 5-yard line. By the time Zach Bond got up off the ground, he was on the 2. Fishing maniac. If we had Josh Allen, we don't lose a game. Correct. How about this, fishing maniac? I'm gonna make you an offer here. I want you to help me out. I may need you at about midnight. I may have to take a guy on a boat ride. I want you to do me a favor. I'm not going to mention any names, but he calls plays. So we're just going to leave it there. And believe me, don't be upset when you see the cement going into your boat. So I'm not going to really tell you any more than that, but I need to meet you at the dock tonight at around 11:30. We're going to Tony Soprano somebody, and we're going to go out, and we're going to do some damage here. Just, I want you to keep it real here for us. All right. I'll tell you this, man. You want to know? Hey, you know what? Let me just say this. Xander was so pissed off I couldn't get a fucking word in last night. I've never seen this kid that pissed off. He was like this, I don't think he gave a shit that they lost. I gave a shit they lost, but it was more this. Motherfuckers quit. They fucking quit. I fucking saw it. And I was like, they did. By the way, all the supers we're going to read after Xander here. We got Mike North. By the way, he's got an interesting take on AJ because he saw those tweets on AJ. So he's going to have an interesting takeaway on AJ. That'll be at 4:30. Without further ado, the most pissed off guy in Philadelphia. Our boy, Big Z, Xander Krause. How you doing, bro?
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother? Appreciate you, man.
24 hours. Well, not for you. It's about 2 hours after what you guys did last night. I'm sure you went to deep into the night and into the morning.
Yeah, it's compounding at this point. And then I just rewatched the game. Yeah, I just get more pissed every time I look at it. By the way, I meant to tell you, you've been on the show. Right when you started your show today, your Doug Peterson bite has started to pick up steam over on X because everybody's looking for a new play caller, man. And Doug's out there saying he would come back. So, look, we got big takeaways. We're going to get into them all. We got an hour to talk about it. We'll do it all here. We got big problems and we have small problems, and we have multiple different ways to look at this thing. And we're going to, I think there are some big problems. I do.
Okay. What's the biggest problem in your eyes right now?
After I rewatched the game, the biggest problem, in my opinion, with this team is the two lines.
Okay.
Because the Eagles have made all of their hay and bread and buttered all their bread really in the last decade by having a great offensive line. And they've adapted and they've taken on this identity and this offensive play style where they want to bully teams.
Okay.
And now you have a quarterback who doesn't thrive throwing the football. You have a running game who's averaging 3.5 yards a carry, so you can't move the football that way. And you have a play caller who's already in over his head and is failing to adapt to the limitations of the quarterback.
Let me go here with this. I think that this offense right now under Nick Sirianni and under Kevin Patullo, they're doing everything they have to do because of one thing. It's because the quarterback is limited. You said something this morning that really, John just doesn't want to bite on it. Dude, if I have the number one
press pass, dude.
If he has got the number 1 and number 10 wide receivers in pro football and the number 1 running back and the number 1 O-line at the beginning of the year, how is anybody going to sit there and tell me that offense is not set up to be like the greatest show on turf when the St. Louis Rams had Kurt Warner and all them players? The difference is the quarterback.
Yeah, 100%. Everybody can see that. That's why we got Saquon Barkley. That's why I said the first thing I said is the biggest problem is the O-line, because that's how we're built to play. That's how we're built to win football games, is our trenches. And when you don't have our trenches, you don't have the Philadelphia Eagles. Understand? We don't have the guy to throw the ball all over the yard in 2.5 seconds. We don't have that guy.
You don't have that guy.
So you got the offensive line that looks like dog shit. And by the way, the reason I put that first on my big problems is because I truly don't see a fix right now. Cam Jurgens, I said this morning. I understand it's a hot take at this point, but I honestly believe this. I don't think Cam Jurgens is ever going to be the same. I truly believe that. I think last year, the way we played and how much he took on his back and everything and the surgeries he's gotten now, I don't think he's ever going to be the same guy. Landon Dickerson's banged up. And the other dude who was on that team last year, Mekhi Becton, is banged up out in LA right now. So the three guys who were the leaders of your tush push and your offense and your running game last year are all banged up. So if you don't have that offensive line anymore, what is our offense going to morph into? I don't know. And this is where I was talking to my guy Underdog on the show last night. It's like, dude, if we can't run the football and we don't have a great defense, we're going to run into some real issues where you're not maximizing your talent enough to overcome any of the other obstacles you face. That was my big problem, number one. My big problem, number two, is something we've already addressed ad nauseum, and we have to continue to address it, whether John believes it or not. I just rewatched the game. The team gave up. I don't give a shit who says what. The team gave up. They 100% gave up in the football game. Now, that's a bad look, one. But two, does that show bigger problem? If you give up in a game,
the head coach.
Exactly right. That's your players giving up on. By the way, I'll go further. It's not just giving up on your coaches. It's giving up on the leaders on the team.
Yes.
It's giving up on the quarterback. It's giving up on whoever you deem as the new leaders post Brandon Graham, post Darius Slay, post Jason Kelsey. Maybe it's Lane Johnson. It's giving up on those guys when you don't give effort like that. And the other big problem I see right now, and I want everybody in the chat to answer me on this. What's one thing the Philadelphia Eagles do well right now?
Bitch.
Okay. What's one thing they do on the football field well right now? They don't pass well. They don't run well. They don't block well.
And they don't.
I thought they were doing special teams well. They don't do that well. They can't run. They're awful in run defense. Jackson Dart made them look like they were paper mache yesterday in the pass game. They don't do anything well. What do they do well right now? It's crazy that we're having this conversation 6 games into the year after coming off a Super Bowl, but there's a reason that it's hard to repeat, and those are my two biggest things, and to just the third thing that I would put as my big concern is, and this ties into the offensive line thing, but it's the play style. This is their play style. That's why you're seeing them do it, even when they're not
quarterback.
Right.
This all goes back to Hurts.
Yeah, unfortunately, those are conversations that we're going to start to have, and people aren't going to like those conversations.
No.
But when you don't have the number one, people were telling me today, Jalen threw for great in the Super Bowl. I'm like, yeah, I agree. He deserves a ton of credit.
No doubt.
You know what else he had in the Super Bowl? A defense that didn't let Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid's offense get past midfield for 10 drives.
And a Barkley that was on fire.
Well, Barkley didn't have a good Super Bowl. That's what somebody was saying.
Going into that, he did have 200 against the Rams, and you got to that game because of that guy, not the other guy.
Does Jalen Hurts give you enough of an advantage if you don't have the number one running game and you don't have the number one defense? No. Does he give you enough of an advantage considering the weapons that we have on the team?
No.
And I'm not buying this new trope. Now John's new thing he keeps telling me is, I don't think it's as good as you think, Xander. We have no evidence. And I'm like, I know we have no evidence, but are you telling me?
You have no evidence because the quarterback can't do it.
Exactly. The individual talent is certainly good enough.
Absolutely.
Jalen had a bad game last night. I think we can all agree that. I don't think that defines Jalen Hurts as a player.
No.
But every player has skill sets. And Jalen Hurts' skill set thrives when he's got a great running game and a great defense. He can manage the clock. He can, dominate in the run game and make throws when he needs to make them.
And he's got a guy who could call plays like 22. That's when he excels.
I know, but even then, even again, this is why on my list of small concerns, I put the predictability all over social media right now. You see the predictability. I get it. The predictability is a problem. The predictability is only a problem when your personnel isn't as good as it was last year. Last year, we were damn predictable. We ran the same inside zone running plays over and over again. Yeah, we had a couple shuffle. We had a couple tosses. We did a couple things.
But for the most part,
exactly. And everybody knew, and it didn't matter. Now, everybody says we're predictable. It's a problem. No, the problem is what you're predictable in, you no longer have the strengths needed to be predictable and thrive.
Isn't this
defenses, Sills, it's so obvious what these defenses are doing on these rewatches. They're doing all this sim pressure, and then they're dropping back into zone coverage. When you have zone coverage, you got to fit the ball in tight windows.
And Barkley's
gun shy with the football.
Barkley's tipping off the plays because he's lining up in the same formation when they're doing many of the things. Dan Orlovsky, he pointed that out, and he put it up there numerous times, showing you that every time Barkley's in a certain formation, they go to this one play. Bro, I mean, this goes back to the quarterback. Something I've
Yeah,
never
I mean,
believed.
unfortunately, it does. Now, I'm not of the belief that we can't like win with Jalen, but Jalen requires a very specific style to win. And right now, with this offensive line, I mean,
You're not going to win from the pocket, dude. You're proving it. And Xander, I heard you saying this to John. They have pivoted. Last two games, they've pivoted. They've thrown the ball. They've thrown the ball more. They've gotten away. Dude, they had 18 carries with Barkley the last two games. I don't know what else to say to you. They're not going to Barkley right now. So they've pivoted. And when they pivoted, they've lost. Quarterback's not winning you games from the pocket. He's just, you tell me this. Do you think last night's game looked like the first 4 games of 2024?
in a way,
Okay. Well, that's what you're going to get. That's who he is. That's what it
made turnovers. That
Okay.
interception was terrible. And then you got all these nerds on social media who break down all 22s like they know anything more about the game than anybody else. It's like, what the fuck is your background in football that you're breaking down an all 22 and I should listen to you? But anyway, I digress. You got these dudes breaking down all 22s, bailing Jalen out of the interception. That was a brutal read. It was so obviously man coverage. They had A.J. Brown running into the end zone. Jalen locked on his target, and he threw a pick. That
Kurt
corner
Warner
has
just said.
That corner have.
Kurt Warner just said made no sense. Made no sense, that throw.
That throw was awful.
He goes, it made no sense in what he goes, he didn't even have a look and a read.
Yeah.
He just threw it. And you were like, I mean.
And he telegraphed it. He stared him down. And A.J. Brown was literally right there. I mean, I could have made the throw to A.J. I mean, that he was so wide open, running into the end zone. In the second read, it's not like, by the way, I'm not talking about a read that was over here and then a read that was over here. I'm talking about a read that was here and here. I mean, come on, dude. You got A.J. Brown running free in the red zone into the end zone, and you're throwing an out route to Jahan Dotson?
Okay, let's go over to the other side. You got to put this on Howie. That defensive
100%.
side.
100%.
This on Howie. This ain't on Vic.
No.
Vic coaches the players he gets.
I do have some questions for Vic, but overall, not. I agree. I don't think it's all on Vic. I wonder why Jackson Dart had such an easy time. Like, he wasn't confused. Was he confused yesterday?
No way. Can I tell you what they did? They did something that you guys pointed out. Just to show you the progressions on how coordinators are. You're right, Xander. When you guys pointed this out, I heard you because I listened back to your show. You and John said this. Why the fuck didn't they go to Keely Ringo in that Buck game? Well, you know what? The next game, they did. They had success. Denver did. This last game, anywhere he was, they went right at him. If you think that any team, Minnesota, the Giants, whoever, you go to the bye, then you come out, you got Green Bay and Detroit. If you think they're not going to find that guy and the weaknesses, dude, Andrew Makuba did not play well. Okay. Then again, I don't think really anybody in that defense played well.
Andrew Makuba, like people are making highlight tapes on their plays against Andrew Makuba right now. People might want to pump the brakes on saying that was a great draft pick. He's a second rounder, so we're going to give him some time. I'm just saying. Right now, he's not. He's not. And by the way, Reed Blankenship blows. He blows.
Man.
He is horrid. Thank God we didn't give him an extension, and they're not going to give him one. In fact, if they do, it'll be like a $6-7 million deal because he's playing himself right out of the big money.
Them getting rid of Gardner Johnson hurt a safety position and the other safety position. Do you understand? It was 2 collateral damage moves that they did by pulling him out of there.
I'm not just talking about him getting trucked either.
I'm talking about him getting beat on routes.
He's a catastrophe. I mean, he's just not playing good football right now. So I don't know. Maybe he wants to go and record another podcast episode, or I don't know what his deal is. But dude, focus on what the reason you have a podcast is because you're a good football player. Don't start putting all the other shit before what gets you those opportunities. You're not playing good football right now.
Reading headlines.
Yeah. Look, I think this team is struggling dealing with success. I do.
Would you ever think of benching Hurts?
I don't know if that does what what we want it to do. I
Okay.
don't. Now, I think if you get to a point, like we got a game coming up here versus the Vikings in 10 days, whatever it is, 9 days now. We got, let's just say we don't have Q. So you're going to have Ringo, Adoree, on Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. You got Carson Wentz, who, whatever people want to chirp about Carson Wentz, that guy can throw the rock, and that guy will put the ball in the tight windows. So if you think you're going to drop back in zone coverages and stop those guys, you got another thing coming. So if Jackson Dart with Wan'Dale Robinson and LeGerry or Lil, what's the guy's name? Lil something?
Who?
The guy in the Giants last night. Lil something. His name is Lil.
I couldn't tell you. I didn't know any of these guys.
Me neither. So you got Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson coming in this week. With, by the way, a good offensive line in Minnesota. Not great. They were hurt. But if they're healthy, they're on a bye week right now. So Minnesota's getting healthy. We got Minnesota coming off of their bye week. Yeah, Lil Jordan Humphreys. Thank you. I mean, what are they going to do? They're going to have a field day. And if you're telling me we're not going to have Landon again, Cam Jurgens already looks like a turnstile. I mean, what is going to be the approach to win football games if you don't have this defense and you can't run the ball?
What's your take on how Nick Sirianni's handling all this?
Whenever you have a game that the take by many people is the blame is on everybody, you know what that means to me? The blame is on the head coach. That's what that means. When you have a game and you come out of there and you say, boy, everybody's responsible for that. Yeah, you know what that means? That means the head coach is responsible for that. Where is this culture? Where is tough, detailed together? Where is all that bullshit? I mean, they've had a little bit of adversity, and it's like they've fallen off. They forgot how to play the Eagles culture. And they're also immature, and they've taken that on from their head coach. They're a very immature football team. Very immature.
Because if AJ feels he can act, if the coach can act that way, he can too. And so that's why AJ does the shit he does.
Yeah.
How about the fact that AJ's telling you cryptically that meeting was nothing to do with offense? That meeting was everything to do with the relationships between the quarterback and him. And here, let me before you blow it off as nothing.
No, I'm not blowing it off as nothing. I'm sorry. There's nothing that's happening right now that's nothing.
Okay,
Team lost 2 games straight. Team lost 2 games straight, and you lost to a Giants team that is so inferior to this roster. It shouldn't even be legal that they beat us last night. That's how much better our roster is than that.
AJ took a swat at the organization and the head coach and quarterback with that comment. That wasn't a meeting about that wasn't a meeting about the offense.
I think he's taking shots at the quarterback.
I do too.
Did you hear his
quarterback? But the quarterback is in with the coach.
Did you hear his answer on Kevin Petula?
No.
Yes, after the game, he's doing an excellent job. He's trying to get us to football. He's talking to us, communicating with us, trying to figure out how to get this thing going. That's what AJ said about the coordinator. Does that sound like a guy that thinks the problem lies on the coordinator?
No.
And I get it. The coordinator looks over his head. He does. He does look over his head. He doesn't understand how to adapt to the deficiencies or, the unique style of Jalen Hurts. He doesn't know how to play around it. When the run game doesn't work, he doesn't know what to do. So he's a problem. But these are consistent things. We had the 31st ranked passing offense in football last year. Here we are a year later. The run game stopped working. Passing game is still bottom of the league. And now we're dropping games with the New York Giants on primetime, giving up in the fourth quarter because we can't get anything working. This team is at a real crux point right now. They're either going to answer the bell here and they're going to get on the ship, right the ship to some extent.
You think Nick Sirianni is an answer guy?
He's had moments in his career where he's had answers. Last year was a good example. 2-2 start, he had answers. 2-5 start his rookie year, switches over to Shane Steichen, turns that season around, they go and make the playoffs. He's had answers. 23 was the opposite. No answers, but at least he tried in 23. He got rid of the coordinator. Again, it didn't work. It fell apart. He's largely responsible for that, but I don't think he's a guy that's going to sit on his hands. if we lose this week to the Vikings, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of change that was made. I don't know what it would be. I don't know how big it would be. I don't think moving on from Patullo in the middle of the year is a great thing to do.
No.
But, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not in a good mood today. I'm on a couple hours of sleep. I watched the team give up on primetime last night. I'm listening to John tell me I'm seeing shadows when it comes to effort. I'm not seeing shadows. I'm pissed off, honestly. And I don't get pissed at football. I tell these people all the time, I got bills to pay. I got mouths to feed. I got a family to love. I got real shit in life. Football doesn't make me angry, okay? Giving up, though, that makes me angry. That makes me angry on anything in life. I mean, what are you giving up? And I thought that was really, really upsetting. And by the way, Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo, whoever wants to make me my plate of crow, I prefer it crispy, put it in an air fryer for me. I'll eat it on Cam Scatterbo. I was calling him overrated. That dude had a will that Eagles team I haven't seen yet this year.
He ran them over.
He ran them over. And so did Jackson Dart.
Dude.
Diving into dude. Jahad Campbell on the first down marker. Jackson Dart lowering his shoulder into Jahad Campbell, picking up a first down. That is will. That is effort. That is want to.
You know what else it is? It's playing with desperation. That team played with desperation last night.
They also played free, though.
Well, they felt it was a desperate moment right now because the coach saved it. You think the coach saved his job last night?
The Dable?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a signature win for him, my friend. By the way, John Mara, you are 100% correct. Instant reaction was literally spot on. John Mara just put out a statement on him talking to him going in the medical tent. John Mara did, the owner of the Giants, put out a statement on the head coach doing that. That was a bad look.
That was, you know what?
Yeah.
I mean,
you can't have that.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm sitting there watching the game and I'm going like, look at this, man. This guy goes into the tent. Then he sends Scatterbo into the tent, which is also a violation with NFLPA rules.
I think Scatterbo was more like trying to be like, that's my boy. Is he okay?
Thing. Yeah, but you're not allowed to do that.
I agree. I'm just saying, I don't think his was like, get him out of there.
You're not supposed to pressure anybody in any way whatsoever to get him out.
Right.
Dude, you're fucking hollering at a neurologist on the fucking sidelines. And you're supposed to be telling people about you have a caring of concussions. And he's going like this. Get that fucking guy out here. Get him on the field. You're screaming at a fucking neurologist. That, you're lucky. If he loses that game, he could have got fired for that. That's how close that came. You lose that game and you act like that, screaming at a doctor on the sidelines. That is a taboo with the NFL because they do not want to be. What if that kid went out there and got a severe concussion, or he was playing with a grade 3 concussion? Dog, where we going here?
Look, this is why I stay off social media after these games. Now I got some Nimrod on my timeline. They brought 7 on all-out blitz, so Jalen should. That was the right read on the interception. No, it fucking wasn't. It was man coverage with the crossing route to AJ, your best player in the red zone. You're telling me that the main read was Jahan Dotson on a 5-yard out route? I get so fired up looking at these Nimrods.
You're going to have such a tough time when it comes to the same thing. What you did with Carson Wentz 2.0, it's happening to Hurts again. Here is a prediction. They'll run his ass out of town the same way they ran Wentz. It's just a matter of when. He'll be a scapegoat soon. When everyone comes to I'll tell you what, the day that A.J. Brown leaves the Philadelphia Eagles, he's going to tell all on social media, and that's going to be a must read because there is no way.
Let me ask you, and people are going to hate this question, and I don't give a shit. If you had to make a move at the end of this year, let's say this team doesn't get where, let's say they go 9-7 this year, and this team has to make a move on offense because the relationship between A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts has severed, and you got to get rid of one of those players. Let's just play the hypothetical. Who are you getting rid of? A.J. Brown or Jalen Hurts?
What's Barkley's status? How healthy?
Healthy.
The old line comes back healthy, right?
Just for
Healthier.
the sake of the conversation, sure.
Okay. Just me thinking about it should tell you.
It's a problem.
It's a
Because
problem.
this is what I would pose to everybody. If for those who say trade A.J. Brown, I'll go through both exercises. Let's do it together. For those who say trade A.J. Brown, okay, that's assuming the offense that we've had for the last 4 years that's built around Jalen Hurts that looks very similar every year. You're going to have that same offense. It doesn't matter if you replace A.J. Brown with the second coming or Jahan Dotson. You're going to have this offense still minus A.J. Brown. Will that offense be better than these skill position players with, let's just say, Tanner McKay?
Okay. I'm going to ask you this, and I want to go back on a topic. It goes into what you're talking about. I'm going to ask you this one more time. I asked you this before, and you answered it differently. So I'm going to ask you it now.
Okay.
Do you think you can get to a Super Bowl with an average quarterback?
We can when our team is built this good.
Okay. Brock Purdy, Jimmy Garoppolo, would we say?
Jimmy wouldn't be the one I'd want. I'm good with Brock.
Okay. Brock Purdy got a team to a Super Bowl.
If you're going to replace Jalen, you need to get a volume passer. A guy that I don't even need you to be the most. I don't need you to be Josh Allen or Joe Burrow.
Do you think Brock Purdy could take that offense and put them in a Super Bowl? I do. Because if you're going to go with the style of play you are right now, Purdy's a better passer from the pocket. He's not a better dual threat guy, but you're not running Jalen.
Considering Purdy led the 49ers to a Super Bowl, I'm going to say yes.
He did. He threw for 4,200 yards.
Yeah.
You can get.
I just hate, like, we have this team that is so good, man. This I wish, I know people know, but like, we don't use this roster.
No.
We don't use this offense.
What about the topic I asked you about? Do you think that this offense a year ago was maximized to its fullest? A lot of people in here said, yeah. I went, you really think you benefited from all the talent on the team a year ago when you were one-dimensional? You didn't fulfill the destiny of what the skill set of that offense was. M. Reyes was one of the guys that was saying they lived up to their skill set. And I'm like, you really think they maximize the entire talent that you had in that roster? This is what we're talking about now. Hurts can't maximize the ability. Xander, the league's caught up with him. Just like they catch up with offenses and defense.
Agree. I had people telling me that today because I'm like, does Jalen give you the advantage you need if you don't have the number one run defense and the number one?
If you run it like 22, yes.
Yeah, but someone was like, well, he did it in 22. I'm like, are you under the impression that the NFL stays the same year to year? The 22 Eagles are expired and gone. Stop acting like the league is playing the 22 Eagles because Jalen led us to the Super Bowl that year. The league adapts. The league changes quickly.
Got to evolve.
There's a reason they're playing this team the way they are defensively.
You think Jalen has evolved from 22?
No, they haven't asked him to. Well, 23, I thought he did. 24, no. 24, they took the ball out of his hands. 24, they're trying to be, I don't even know what. I really don't even know.
I love for you asking these questions to you. You do agree now that they don't hire these coordinators for Jalen. They hire them for Nick.
I don't know why they hire him, to be frank.
I mean,
I don't know why they hired Kevin Petula. I don't even if, like people say it's because they want
a reward for Nick.
Even if you're Nick, though, why do you want to hire Kevin Petula? Because he's your buddy? Last time you did that, it didn't work. Why wouldn't you? Did anybody see the clip of Jalen Hurts talking in his locker after the Super Bowl win last year when he got asked about the potential of Kevin Petula? So
I didn't see it.
Please go listen to that. He basically says in the moment right there, before he puts back on his media cap, he basically says, well, he's never called plays before. In other words, get me a coordinator. Like, I know we've talked a lot about Jalen on this segment. It's not about Jalen to me. Jalen works his ass off. He does everything right. He wants to be better. He does everything he can.
I like the guy.
Right. I mean, he does it. He earns his keep. He works his balls off. I have no doubt about that. None. Zero, zip, zilch. But he doesn't have the skill set to maximize who we have if we can't run the football the way we have. And that's where the problem comes.
Man.
And even if we got a better coordinator.
I knew that you guys would be in this conversation. I mean, it's a tough conversation because you know why? The guy's done a lot. But at the end of the day, this is more about what your roster has done by winning all these games than what the quarterback has done. Dude, he's been a really good football player. Has he been an exceptional elite guy? Moments he has. But consistently, never. 22 he was, as you said, just like 24, that's long gone. I said this to you guys too after 22. That's the best version you're ever going to see of Hurts. Here we are in 25.
Yeah,
He's regressed. He has regressed so much as a quarterback in the pocket. It's beyond belief.
The league is also caught up to him, and that happens to every quarterback.
This is Carson Wentz 2.0. Dude, they quit developing that guy. I mean, am I wrong when I say that? This looks like Wentz's beginning of the end for Wentz.
Yeah, but remember, Wentz's team was depleted with injuries in 2020. That team had no offensive line in 2020. They were all hurt.
What's 25?
Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't think Wentz was as big of a problem as people made him out to be.
No, because he could actually throw the ball.
Now, Wentz was,
again,
mentally, I don't think he dealt with Philadelphia well.
He didn't. And I don't think the inner fighting either helped between the coach and the GM.
Look at these fanboys. These two goose trying hard to God. BJ, you wouldn't know adversity if it slapped you in your fucking nose, my man. You just lost 2 games to the lowly New York Giants on national TV. They gave up. They have no semblance of an offensive identity with an offensive group that's been together for 4 fucking years. And you think it's gossip. You are a fanboy. You are not a real person. You don't have any objective bone in your body. You are a box of rocks.
What's pissed you off? So this thing here has pissed you off this game.
Yeah, it's the effort. I mean, the effort really sucked in the game. That really pissed me off.
Or is it also, too, you're coming to grips with Jalen Hurts' inability to be able to evolve as a quarterback? That's bugging you also because, like you said, you like the guy, but all of a sudden now you've got to come to grips with one thing. This guy's not getting better. I mean, everyone in that city loves this guy. They love the look. They love the whole thing with Jordan. They love the guy. Now you're coming to a realization he's limited. I mean, Xander.
It's partly that, but it's not all his fault. It's not.
It's not. It's the organization's fault.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, is there an answer for 2025?
This is the $1 million question right now. Everybody's got questions. Does anybody have an answer that makes sense? Outside of, hey, we were good last year, so everything is okay. Woo-hoo, yeah, go team. Go team. Let me put on my Eagles stuff. Woo, go team. Bullshit. We're getting destroyed off physically, offensive line, defensive line.
By lesser team.
It's like we have 2, in my opinion, 2 of the best receivers in football. It's like grinding your nails on a chalkboard to get them the football. I don't understand that.
Do you see them on the sidelines too? The body language that both of them have, that they're so disappointed in what's going on.
By the way, that throw to Devontae Smith was awful. Awful. Not only was it an overthrow, it was put nowhere near the mark. He had Devontae was cutting up the field this way. The throw was toward the sideline. And that was a terrible throw by Jalen. And he took accountability for it. So it is what it is. I mean, you're going to miss throws. It happens. It happens to the best players. I'm just saying, You
think getting rid of Barkley next year in the offseason would be the best thing for Jalen Hurts' development? finding out whether or not he can really
Well,
be the
what's your
guy.
end goal? Like what? Like
Developing the quarterback into being what I want him and what I think he can
what do
be,
you want him to be?
along with AJ and Devontae.
What do you want him to be?
Well, I want to find out what he can be. No, it's not what I want him to be. I want to know what he can be.
I wouldn't try and turn Big Sills into a journalist.
I'm not trying to turn him into that either. I want to know what he can be. That's
You get what
fine.
I'm saying, though?
They don't know what he end up could. Yes, I do.
I don't know, man. I think
You know how many program directors have tried that? Every time they hire me, you know what the old thing used to be? They hire me to give me a bunch of money. You know what it was? Hey, let's try this. Hey, let's try this. And I used to go, fucking shut the fuck up. And that would be the end of it. hey, Xander, I don't want to tell him what to be. I want to find out
what the stripes on a zebra, man. Jalen is what he is.
Okay, well, I'm going to hire a guy that's going to sit there and figure out who he is. Kellen Moore figured out what he was last year. He knew it.
Didn't Nick kind of figure out what he was?
They know what he is.
That's why this offense looks this way.
And that's why when Barkley's not playing the way he is, it exposes Hurts.
But that's where the 22
and it exposes them.
It's even more about the offensive line than it is about Barkley because we had great success without Barkley.
Yeah, but those injuries have exposed Hurts' inabilities to move the sticks consistently in the passing game. How many sacks did he fucking take last night, too?
I don't know, 3 or 4.
I know. 3 or 4, it's just becoming a normal thing here, 3 or 4 sacks.
Well, Brian Burns was taking people to the woodshed last night. I don't know. I know nobody wants to talk about that, but Jeff Stoutland, I mean, what happened? Is he like enjoying retirement or something too early? Is he gearing up to leave? Like, what happened to Stoutland University this year?
I got to think that's got a lot to do with Howie's remember, Howie's in control of the entire roster, dude. The guys he brings in, Stoutland can only do so much, man. This goes back to Howie. When you start talking about coaching and you start talking about player accountability, okay, well, my question would be then, well, who's playing? Brett Toth? Bro, Brett Toth is taking over for Landon. You know what, bro? That might be a little bit of a cliff dive, don't you think?
Absolutely. I'm finding this stat for you. It's not good. Jalen Hurts on throws downfield. Here it is. Ready? Jalen Hurts this year when throwing the ball 10-plus yards downfield, targeted receivers, he's 10 out of 28, ranked 30th in accuracy with a 35% completion percentage, which is ranked 35th in completion rate with a 4.8 passer rating.
Dude.
I'm seeing shadows, dude. They got him all fucked up. All these defensive coordinators.
How about this? I know he's played an extra game here. Right now, Hurts is second in sacks. Probably after this weekend, he'll be in the top 10, like 6th, when it comes to taking sacks. So he's taking sacks. He's not delivering the ball on time. He's missing targets. What's happened to him? Do you think he can be fixed?
I don't think he's broken. He needs a perfect team. The offensive line isn't perfect. The running game's not perfect. We don't have the quarterback to get the ball out of the pocket in 2.5 seconds to use the other weapons on the team.
If you think that's going to be 2024 again, where you have everything lined up perfectly for a quarterback, that's why Josh Allen and Joe Burrow and those guys are worth the money that they're worth, is because they don't have those things lined up.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They don't have that. If people have to think that Howie Roseman's going to line all that stuff up again, Xander, you'll be looking for a Super Bowl when you're old and gray. Because lining what you did in 2024 up again where everything was perfect like that, how about this? When Carson Wentz got to the Super Bowl, was everything perfect for him? When that 2017 team got to the Super Bowl, that wasn't perfect.
No, I mean, he didn't take us all the way, but
okay.
No, it wasn't.
Right. The quarterback got hurt. The left tackle got hurt.
I'll go back a little bit further. All right. And look, here's all these numbers. Stay on that side. Roll Phil. I'm an Eagles fan. I don't give a shit what you have to say. You're a Jalen Hurts fan. I'm an Eagles fan. All right?
Yeah.
I'll go back a little further.
I'm a football fan.
I don't understand this fan base. They got bubble wrap on Jalen Hurts. They're like afraid to talk about the guy.
Because they fall in love with their players instead of falling like.
No, but that's not true historically. This fan base, you know how much of a hard time this fan base gave Donovan McNabb? He was throwing to James fucking Thrash and Pinkston. We're throwing to the greatest receivers we've ever had in the city of Philadelphia, and everybody's like, how dare you criticize Jalen Hurts? Guys, he's a grown man making $50 million a year with a beautiful wife, with a whole family. Jalen Hurts is okay. He doesn't need your protection. I promise you, he doesn't need your protection. Holy shit. It's like the weirdest thing in the world. We treated Donovan McNabb like dirt on the bottom of our shoe. Same with Carson Wentz. What happened when the year Carson Wentz got run out of town? Who was he throwing to you that year? Anybody want to tell me?
I can't name one guy. I mean,
Travis Fulgham and Jalen Reagor?
The entire team was on IR that year. Xander, I mean, there's no doubt you can't criticize in your city. You know the problem is when you said that the team quit. When you say that, it's an indictment on Nick. When you say that Jalen Hurts, when you say that Jalen Hurts, when you say this about the Hurts offense, that this offense is not set up to pass, it's an indictment on the quarterback. It's like your city's, it's like the people in your city are not allowed to bring those things up at all and to have a fair conversation about it, on how to fix it, how to go forward. Bro, by the way, let's pull back for a second. You are 4-2. I mean,
I'm not done, dude. Don't give me.
Wait a minute.
I'm not buying that for a single second.
Okay, wait a minute here. Well, you beat some pretty good fucking teams, dude. Teams lose to shitty teams sometimes.
Yeah, it happens.
It does.
All in September. Right now, we're 0-2 in October.
I got it. Hey, when you won the Super Bowl, man, I mean, you were 2-4. You lost to who'd you lose to? Like fucking a team that ended up in the top 10 when it came to drafting in the draft last year. Who'd you lose to? New Orleans?
Last year?
Or you lost to Atlanta?
Atlanta.
You lost to Atlanta. So you lost to Atlanta. Dude, they picked in the top 10. I mean, that was a shitty loss. So, look, I'm not going to ever make excuses for what I'm going to say here, but to me, it's going to be how they rebound here, don't you think?
I just
how
don't
you play against Minnesota, how you play against New York in the second time. By the way, New York they must be feeling this. Hey,
Bro, this is why I think, though.
If you blow me out in that game down at Lincoln Financial, what a loss for the Eagles this year. You split with New York.
I just saw some Nimrod in the chat saying, when we win the next 2 games, oh, congratulations. You're going to beat the depleted Minnesota Vikings and the shitty New York Giants at home with a $300 million roster, and you guys are going to get back on your high horse. I ain't falling for this bullshit.
I wouldn't suggest that you
know
are.
Why I think the team gave up last night?
Okay, why?
Because I think they see the problems that we see, and they see them as unfixable unless this offensive line dominates again. And I don't think anybody sees this offensive line dominate. No. They see that offensive line in practice more than we do.
Uh-huh.
So you got receivers on the bench who are over there like barely trying at the end of the game. Nobody's playing. Nobody's working hard. Everybody's giving up. I think they see that this is they're going to be a tough fix.
So on Monday night, if Washington wins against Chicago, they're tied for first place in the East.
Where's Washington? 3-2.
They're at home against Chicago in that doubleheader.
Is Washington 3-2 right now?
Yeah. Without Jaden Daniels for 2 of those games. They win against the Bears on Monday night. They're 4-2 and they're in first.
Well, I'll tell you what. This division is about to get real interesting because it ain't just Washington.
Oh no, Dallas can beat them.
Dallas is 2-1. I know nobody likes to talk about Dallas, but wait.
Dallas can beat them.
Wait. All the fans who are mad right now at me, ready? They're the same people who were in Mark Holmes's chat saying, "You beat the Giants and the Jets. You beat the Giants. Who gives a shit? Dak beat the Giants and the Jets." Yeah, well, the Giants just cleaned your fucking clock, folks.
Totally.
So the Giants, They started Jackson Dart 3 games ago. They're 2-1 in the Dart era, and they beat the Chargers and the Eagles. The Cowboys
Chargers are good.
The Cowboys are 2-1 right now. Or what is it? 1-2.
Yeah,
What are they?
2-1.
They got the number one quarterback in football right now, playing like the number one quarterback in football statistically. And their offense is humming. Now, their defense blows, so I don't know what that's going to mean for them. But do they win 8-9 games this year? Potentially. So you got the Giants, who are 2-1 in the Jackson Dart era, beating the Chargers and the Eagles. You got the Cowboys, who are playing great offensively right now, and you got the Commanders, who are the better of those 3 teams. Okay. And you got us, who just lost 2 games straight after September ended.
Follow me here. Next Tuesday, you could have Washington very easily could beat Chicago. They would be 4-2. Let's take a look at Dallas, Carolina. They're winning that game. They're going to be 3-2-1. And then you're sitting there at 4-2, as you just said. And by the way, now you got New York sitting at 2-4 at the bottom, pulling up the NFC East. I'll say that the NFC East just got interesting. If those teams win this weekend, and I believe Dallas will beat Carolina, and I do believe Washington will beat Chicago, you're theoretically going to have 3 teams with 2 losses in the NFC East. And it's going to be a little interesting here down the stretch here.
Yeah, right.
If you don't get your shit together. Dude, you could eat. I don't want to ever hear an Eagle fan tell me we're going to blow out somebody. Bro, you're not that team right now. You're not blowing out Minnesota. Not blowing Minnesota out.
I think Minnesota, if we don't have Quinion in that game.
By the way, Minnesota's 3-2.
Yeah, Carson Wentz playing good football too. Wait, I'm about to rip some dude in the chat once I send this email to Mike North.
He's 3. They're 3-2 right now. Holy shit, dude! That was the worst loss in the Nick Sirianni era, wasn't it? Or was the Tampa game? Not the Brady Tampa game.
You're not an Eagles fan. Oh, young Joe. Oh, did we pop the bubble wrap on your boy? Oh, are you incapable of criticizing Jay? Oh, young Joe. I'm sorry, young Joe. Go get your fucking binky and go back to Twitter, you nerd.
Young Joe. Come on, young Joe.
I hate fans like that.
Look at you. Dude, you're fired up over this, man.
I just thought it was a joke last night. I really do. And then I start thinking about the bigger issues on the team. And it's just like, man, if we don't have a fucking offensive line, we're going to be in trouble.
What's Jeffrey Lurie thinking right now, you think?
I don't know. You heard John say those meetings after the games are getting longer.
He said that?
So he said, that's why he said it. He said to me when we come, you know how he's been late on the postgame show? Nick meets with the owner before he goes out to those pressers. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not like a formal meeting. It's more just like they talk though. Yeah.
Is Howie in there? Is Howie in there too?
Don't take my word. That's what John said. John said
okay, is Howie in there too? Is Howie in there too?
I would assume Howie is at all the games.
So Howie and Jeffrey, before he goes out and speaks, they have a conversation?
I don't know if it's before. I'm just going off of what John said. Maybe I got to re-listen to it. I was on a couple of hours, but he did say it's taken longer for Nick to come out each and every week. And he said he envisions that that's going to continue to grow. I mean, hey, if you're the owner, at what point are you like, guys, what's going on here?
Yeah, but he's not questioning the quarterback, the owner. He's questioning the coach. Because he'll replace the coach. He's not replacing Hurts.
I know the owner likes the Jalen Hurts, but
he ain't replacing the quarterback.
You're missing a little bit of history, Sills. You've only been around these parts for 5 years. That owner dreams, oohs and ahs out the mouth, foams out the mouth at the idea of a high-flying passing attack. Foams out the mouth. Doug Peterson marched into Lambeau Field on Sunday Night Football, ran over the Aaron Rodgers-led Packers in their turf, beat them, and Tuesday morning, Jeffrey Lurie's like, Why are we running the ball for wins? Now, hey, maybe Jeffrey's evolved a little bit. But the second this thing doesn't work anymore, or they can't run the ball, or they're averaging 3 yards a carry and Jalen Hurts is, not getting the job done in the air, I don't know, man.
Do you think that he would ever tell Howie Roseman to try to work a deal to trade for Joe Burrow?
Oh, they're not doing that. Why would they trade Joe Burrow?
For this
I would do that deal right now.
For this high-powered offense.
I would do that deal right now.
Joe Burrow wants to go through another year not going to the playoffs again, being hurt with this. Joe Burrow's getting killed because of the 28th ranked offensive line.
Yeah, and no defense, dude.
No defense, no chance of winning.
He's with the Bengals. We're a way better organization than that.
Correct. When does his agent
Underdog? I was talking to Underdog. He's like, you're in your car. Your check engine light comes on. You make it to the store and you make it back. But you don't just leave the check engine light on, right? You fix the car. Just because it made you to your destination, you want to fix the vehicle, right? I'm like, fuck, man.
How about this one? I got another one for you. Baker Mayfield.
Check engine light, that thing blinking right now, man.
Baker Mayfield at the end of this year, there's a conversation with the Buccaneers coming up. He's got one more year on his deal. And whether he signs that deal or not.
I don't want to start thinking like this yet. I'm not.
Yeah. How many games are you going to give yourself?
Well, I think
Hurts is not going to evolve, dude.
I think Jalen's earned the benefit of the doubt.
Okay. Yes, he has.
I do.
Yes.
Now, I know it's Friday morning, quarterback, whatever. I get it. I'm a little fired up more today. I do think he deserves a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. My worry with it is it's the same quarterback we drafted. It's the same guy.
It is.
So if you have these deficiencies and you don't have everything going in your favor, someone brought up to me today, well, we didn't have the number one defense in 22. I'm like, we had 70 sacks. What are you talking about? He had help in 22. Miles Sanders ran for 1,200 yards, 1,300 yards that year.
He did.
So if you don't have these things, what are you able to do? Look, I'll say this. I'm not a fan of the way A.J. Brown sometimes carries himself. I get it. But boy, do I know why he's pissed off.
Yeah.
Dude, I watch that. Amazon. I love Thursday night games now because Amazon has this. Have you seen that? Do you watch that at all? They have this secondary broadcast.
Yes.
And they show the sky cam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things
don't watch on there. If you watch on there, you end up like me right now.
Yeah.
What the fuck off?
Mike North is going to join us in a couple minutes. Xander, let's get to these supers, man.
Yeah,
we got a ton of them. By the way, thank you guys.
Yeah, we got to get to these supers. Here's Mike. We got him in the green room. Tyler says, what's up, Tyler? We need a major shakeup. Coaches are Hurts. I love Hurts, but grow or go. AJ is top 5 wide receiver potential, wasting it right now. Xander and Sills, best duo on YouTube. Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate
it, my friend. Thank you.
I love AJ, more important than Hurts, but free him. James says, he doesn't need a perfect team. He needs stability, which he never has. His first with Shane to his second, Hurts upgraded. He hasn't had stability since then. Don't blame the organization for that, James. Don't blame the quarterback.
No.
They hired a head coach who was supposed to be an offensive guy. He called plays for 7 games. They were 2-5. He never took back reins of the offense again. We've had a revolving door coordinator ever since. It's not changing. It's not changing. That element of this team is not changing in the Jalen Hurts era.
No.
It could be 5 years. It could be 10
never
years.
Change.
It's not changing. Kyle Kokorski says, don't be surprised if Eagles draft somebody like a Carson Beck. Carson Beck. I don't want Carson Beck. Give me Ty Simpson from Alabama. That guy can sling the rock.
Or that kid Sellers from South Carolina.
He can sling it too.
Like that kid.
Matt says, do we see Willie Lampkin in place of Juergens? Is he on our roster, Willie Lampkin? He is. He's that short dude, right?
Dude, Juergens is just a trash can right now, the center.
Yeah, he got back surgery. Everybody all summer told me, he'll be fine.
Yeah,
he got back surgery. He's got nerve problems in his back.
Totally.
Dude, he'll be getting back surgeries for the rest of his life. Unfortunately, but that's a reality.
I'll be shocked if he makes the season.
Me too. Khaled says, it's been 6 effing years. What's 30?
Hey, no, okay. Hey, when you do have to evolve as a quarterback here.
You do. I know Mike loves Jalen, so I can't wait to hear what he says. But man, if it ain't all perfect, it doesn't look pretty. I'll tell you that much. Riding the bench says if you believe in Jalen, you get a different offensive coordinator. If you believe in Nick, you put in Tanner. That's what you do.
Listen, for them to be able to get the best out of Jalen Hurts, you've got to hire people that want to develop Jalen Hurts. They're hiring coordinators, Xander, for the head freaking coach. You haven't developed this quarterback in a passing situation in the pocket in a year in 6 games. All you do is you hand the ball off, you turn, and then when you ask him to go out and throw the football, he hasn't been developed. I mean, come on, man.
Man, I want to
You
show you
hire a guy who's never been a play caller.
That is.
How do you hire a guy? Hey, listen, have you ever done heart surgery before? No, I just came out of Cook County. I'm going to come over and I'm going to do a surgery on you. You know what? I'll take the old guy that looks like Mike North.
I want you to listen
that
to
guy
this.
there, right there with the toupee on.
I want you to listen to this real quick. Real quick. We'll be out of here in a second. Ready?
Yeah.
You're going to laugh. You're going to laugh your ass off at this. Let me pull it up. Here's Jalen Hurts. This is him at his locker room after the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Okay?
Yeah, Kevin Petrulo never been he'd have a different role.
Before he caught himself, I want you to listen to that again. Before he caught himself and went media savvy, like Jalen is very media savvy. What's going on with this thing? Listen to him.
Yeah, Kevin Petrulo's never been
he's never been he was about to say, give me an experienced coordinator.
Yeah.
We got a Lamborghini on offense.
Yeah. And he threw the keys to a 10-year-old.
Yeah. A Nimrod. All right. One thing else. Did we get all the supers? Let me see. No, we didn't. Greg says Jalen couldn't evolve as a quarterback, even at OU and Lincoln. No, that's not true. He evolved there. Had
runner-up to the Heisman that game. He got all the way to the Final Four.
Yeah, I think he was third. The guy's the definition of overrated. Doesn't want to be better. He's just trying not to lose. I don't agree with that. He's a hard worker. I got nothing bad to say about Hurts in that regard.
Listen, if you're going to be constructive about Hurts, try to be accurate about him too.
AJ answered like that because Jalen is the problem, and everyone in that locker room knows it. It starts with Jalen. Oof, man. We got a lot of supers. You want to do them after Mike?
Let's finish him up here, man.
All right.
That was the worst game I've seen from Bond. Absolutely.
Wait, I want to show you something else too, because it is funny.
Mike, we're going to get to you in a minute, brother.
Look at this.
Oh, man. Oh, my God.
My boy Bob Brown sent me that on social media.
All right, you know what, Xander? Come back on here. We'll finish him up.
All right, dude.
All right, man. All right, I appreciate it, man. Got a lot of pissed off people in Philly. You know, Philadelphia and Chicago, man, I'll tell you what. Chicago, too, is one of those cities. They are. Look at the Cubs right now, too. We'll get to the Cubs in a second here with Mike, but I can't wait to hear what Mike says. So last night, you go into a football game against a JV football team. You basically were going in against Northwestern Wildcats last night and taking on the New York Giants. That team was on a respirator. They're 1-4 going into that game. And they completely beat the dog tar out of you last night. I mean, they had 4 guys that they activated off the practice squad. And they tore you a new one. With all that talent on your football team, what happened? 34-17. And then after, you have A.J. Owens. A.J. Owens, after A.J. Brown's back to me now being A.J. Owens. So A.J. Owens is like, yeah, there was no meeting. We didn't have any meeting about offense. What does that tell you? The meeting was about whether or not the two could get together and have a relationship. And I'm not talking about lovers relationship where you're passing Valentine's around. I'm talking about a business relationship. Who gives a shit whether they like one another? I don't care. I care you have a business relationship. When Mike North had a guy sitting in the room with him, He didn't give a shit if he liked them. He only cared whether or not he could do a show with them. Let's go, and let's do it right now with one of the legendary sports talkers across our country, one of the main men in the history of Chicago when it came to talking sports. Our friend Mike North joins us right now. How you doing, brother?
I would have waited. I love the rundown. You guys were doing a great job. You know, it's got to be hard. Like I was tearing up. I'm in the Philadelphia.
Mike, tell me about a game like that when you get killed like that by a team that you know that you're superior to. They go in that game. They're I'm almost double-digit like favorites to win that football game, and all of a sudden you just get hammered like that. Now, is this just because, again, I mean, look, you go so deep in the playoffs a year ago, you don't have really a lot of offseason. I don't want to make any excuses for this, but what did you see last night with them?
Here's what I'm going to say. You got a team of youngsters that don't even know what day it is. You got Dart and you got the Scatterball. They've re-energized the team. It's the National Football League. If you look at what happened this past week, look at the teams that lost. A lot of good teams lost this week, okay? And the Philadelphia Eagles are one of them. I know Jalen Hurts is always going to get heat. I'm a big fan of him. You guys were accurate when you said he's a hard worker. He wants to do better. But when you lose, you're going to have it fall at the feet of the quarterback, and he deserves to take criticism. He's usually accountable. I don't have any problems thinking that they won't be into the playoffs at the end of the season. I think that they'll be just as formidable once the season starts, but it's not an easy league, as you know, Sills. It's not easy at all. I mean, it's a game of inches because I'll give you an idea. The Bears went into the bye week with a big win, okay? But he won by 1 point. And I heard guys saying that, hey, you know what? It looks like they're buying into Ben Johnson. You know, they're 2-2. They were this close. If they don't block that field goal, they're 1-3. Okay. And you're not hearing people saying, guess what? They're buying into Ben Johnson. You know what you're hearing? Here we go again. 1-3. We get this guy from Detroit. He can't get it done. So it's a week-to-week emotional thing. Today, coming on with you guys from Philadelphia, I can identify with the situation. But you still got a team. I would tell you straight out, this is the truth. And take it any way you want, because I'm old school. I'd get rid of A.J. Brown. I'd get rid of his ass immediately. And I'll tell you why. He's got 19 catches, if I'm not mistaken. He is a guy that has enjoyed and celebrated with his teammates, but he's a cancer right now, and he's going to be a distraction. And I saw it happen to the 85 Bears. They should have won 2-3 years. They should have won 3 Super Bowls. Ditka, Ryan hated each other. The defensive players were jealous of the offensive players. McMahon and Fridge were getting all the national stuff. Hampton and McMichael weren't happy about that. They took their eye off the ball. That's what's starting to happen in Philadelphia. Although it's not as far as jealousy off the field, it's more about a guy, a receiver, and I've seen it happen forever, folks. Terrell Owens, Chad Johnson. I got them all. I'm like Lionel Richie. I can go all night long naming receivers that have screwed up football teams.
Mike, do you think that's more about that you can't really replace the quarterback more than you can replace a wide receiver? Because to your point, look at this. Tyreek Hill's been traded. Stephon Diggs been traded. A.J. Brown's been traded.
Right.
Cooper Kupp's been traded. Devontae Adams, all these high-powered guys. Antonio Brown's been traded. Every one of these guys have all been elite receivers. But what you don't do is and it's harder to replace the quarterback.
Absolutely.
So you're looking at it going, look, it's easier to replace you than it is the QB.
Well, I mean, if you're on a football team, I'm not familiar with Sirianni, but doesn't Sirianni tell A.J. Brown, hey, cool it. We're winning. We'll be okay. Everything's going to be all right.
It doesn't seem he does tell him that.
He's letting
it's a weekly thing, Mike.
Yeah, you know what? Ditka would have stopped it. I'm going back old school.
I agree. I think the guy's a puppet, man.
Yeah, they would have stopped it. But A.J. Brown, pipe down a little bit. Give the kid some support.
Isn't that what you just said, though? Isn't that a guy like Ditka or Nick Sirianni's responsibility to stop it?
Absolutely. What is he doing? I go, why is this A.J. Brown still chirping? And it starts to permeate in the locker room. And certain guys start to get influenced. I mean, if Hurts hits that pass, and I agree, there's still stuff in his game. At this point, I think Johnny Unitas was still learning in his 10th season. You know, hey, I didn't know I could throw that little pass over there or do this or do that. But I mean, you know what? He's still got, if he hits Devontae Smith with that touchdown instead of overthrowing him, it's a whole different ball game. Everybody's happy today, you know, and that's the deal. So the National Football League is a cruel league. It's so cruel. I've been rolling with my gambling until last week. Then I go 2-5. I see teams losing. I go, I mean, look at, here's another thing that hurts. New Orleans beat the Giants. So you guys are looking at that. New Orleans beats the Giants, but they're not that good. So the Giants can't be that good. But it's a week to week, anytime, any place, a great team can lose. So I would understand that you people are pissed because I'm a Bear fan. I know all about being pissed off on every single Sunday. And I know about mistakes made by quarterbacks. I mean, I always talk about it. We got rid of a guy named Trubisky that was winning. I mean, look at Carolina. They got rid of Mayfield and Darnold. See, when you get rid of quarterbacks, is it really the quarterback?
No, New England got rid of Mac Jones.
Right.
Look at what Mac Jones is doing. He's 3-0 now since he started for the San Francisco 49ers.
Right. See, I think wide receivers are a dime a dozen. Keyshawn Johnson.
I do too.
Terrell Owens. Get rid of A.J. Brown. Otherwise, he's going to destroy that locker room unless somebody, and once again, I'm from the outside looking in. Sirianni, I'm half Italian. Okay. You be full Italian and go full Italian on this guy and say, hey, keep your mouth shut. We're going to win this thing at the end.
That's what I would do. Mike, here's the only thing. I'll go on the other side with AJ here, and I'll show you this here. So when AJ went public, all of a sudden you started to hear Devontae Smith is one of the most unassuming guys you'll ever see.
I agree.
I think he is a great leader. Too bad they don't put a C on him. But
he deserves one. He's like 180 pounds, the guy. And coming out of Alabama, people doubted him.
I loved you know
I loved him.
He finally said something this past Saturday. He goes, I got to get my guy AJ's back. Well, then guess what? Barkley came out. And Barkley is trying to be neutral in this. And he goes, I've got to get AJ's back.
See, that's the stuff that's going on. Now these guys don't have their mind focused on football. And what are they worried about AJ? Hey, Saquon, I got news for you. Okay. And I really like you. But, you know, you got a lot of plaudits last year. Okay, for leaving the Giants. Who would have thought the best runner last night was a New York Giant? Period. It was Scatterbo.
That's a great take.
It took 1 year to replace you. You came back last year, you're getting it done. Now, and you gotta play that little fine game. He shouldn't have even gotten involved in this. Walter Payton wouldn't have gotten involved if there was a problem. You never heard Payton taking this guy's side. Payton taking McMahon's side over Ditka. Everybody fought their own battles on that team, but it ended up destroying the team. And that's where Philadelphia is right now, in a fine line.
Let me point this out to you, though, and tell me what you think of it. A year ago, they had this dominant running attack. They were like 1 or 2 next to the Ravens in the NFL. This year, they're like 24th in rushing. I'll ask you this. Last year, 29th in passing. This year, 31st.
Yeah.
The quarterback has not evolved from the pocket. And if you're asking, listen, he's a dual threat guy, Mike. He's the guy that's going to be like a Josh Allen, that's going to get out in the perimeter. And if you don't have the right coordinator for that guy, and you're not hiring the right coach to coach that guy, you're going to ask him to do something completely different. I think this is an organizational mess up like they did with Wentz in a way, where they're not developing the guy. You're 29th, and you got worse with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and Saquon Barkley. How's that possible?
Know what? It doesn't seem possible, and I'm with you 100% on this. I mean, like I said, the quarterback's going to take the dominance of the Heat. But I heard you guys throwing around quarterbacks' names. You know, how about if we bring this guy in? How about if we bring in that guy? I was surprised I didn't hear Van Brocklin's name brought up or Jaworski's name brought up. You guys want anybody but the guy. If it's anybody but him, if he goes down next week, if you're winning or losing, and Hurts went down next week, you're not going back to the Super Bowl.
No.
Period. You can name all the other quarterbacks you want. You can go back in time. You can bring back some receivers. Harold Carmichael, if you like, the angular one. Bring them all back. If Hurts goes down, I don't care what his stats are, because he's never been a. Look at Herbert. Okay, they might lose again this Sunday because he can't discern. He doesn't have a line all of a sudden. So now he might have to do something special. Oh, I'm not being protected anymore. That's the deal. If Hurts went down tomorrow, there's not a quarterback in that quarterback room that will lead the Eagles to the Super Bowl.
I agree.
And they could straighten things out. You know the Sills. They got like, what, how much? 10, 11 weeks left?
You got 11 weeks left.
But you got to tell the players, all of them, guys, hold a meeting. What are we doing here? We were united for 3-4 years. We've gone to 2 Super Bowls. Look what we've done. And with the same people in this room. Now, maybe the coaching is different and stuff like that, but you guys are still the heartbeat of this team.
Mike,
let it go.
Mike, does this come down to learning how to be a champion?
Absolutely. And you know what? They finally got it. And there's always chirping the next year from Super Bowl teams. You know that. The Bears are the greatest example. Like I said, they were the greatest one-season team I've ever seen. They were supposed to be a dominant 10, 15-year organization like the San Francisco 49ers were with D. Bartolo for 20 years, and they broke down. They had no discipline. The coaching staff started grabbing endorsements. The players started getting selfish, and that just blew up. It can blow up fast. That's why I'm saying to Sirianni, get off your ass, talk to your guys individually, and try to get you guys back on track. But it is a tough loss last night. There's no doubt about it. But hey, the defense. We're not talking anything about the defense, dude.
They were sieved last night. That's
what I'm saying. Why are we just
Jackson Dart? They made Jackson Dart look like Josh Allen last night.
I thought it was Tarkenton.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. And I'm saying to myself, okay, I'm going on with the big guy tomorrow. That's what I call you when I'm off the air. I'm going on with the big guy tomorrow. And what do I hear? What I knew I'd hear about the quarterback. But all I saw, Scatterbo, he's the only guy I've seen that you're not supposed to lower your head and put your helmet in the guy's chest anymore. It's supposed to be bad. It's supposed to like break your neck.
He blew people up last night.
That they don't want to tackle him. It's like they don't want to tackle him. So it's a team breakdown last night. I think that who do you guys got next week? Who do you got next week?
Minnesota.
You'll get healthy again.
Then the Giants. It goes Minnesota, then the Giants, and then you go to a bye. Then you go to a bye, and then you've got Green Bay and Detroit on the flip side of the bye.
Pretend A.J. Brown ain't there. Okay, that's a bad thing. Pretend Hurts ain't there. If you get the whole team back, and I think you guys will be okay. I do. I believe in Eagles. You know that.
You think they're still in the Super Bowl hunt?
Absolutely. Aren't they the same group of guys?
Yeah, pretty much, except for the defensive side. They got 5 new starters on that side.
That's the thing right there. So while we're picking on the offense, which always happens, it's no big deal.
Yep.
They're used to it. They get paid.
Oh no, the GM didn't do his job in replacing those.
There you go.
Side.
So if you lose, wouldn't you say that a big part of you guys not getting back to the Super Bowl or maybe not going far in the playoffs would be the defense?
It's on the GM.
And they didn't do enough defensively to get guys back that they lost.
That's right.
Yeah.
What they did, Mike, was they went like IKEA and they went cheap. And what they did was they brought all these dudes in that, quite frankly, were just get this. You have the most expensive payroll on the offense in the NFL at $200 million. You've got the cheapest defense in the National Football League, and they didn't replace those 5 guys. No. They thought that they were better than they were, and they've all failed. Almost every one of them have failed.
So even the GM, even
Howie Roseman.
Wow, they exalted one. I mean, because I know how everybody's felt.
Nobody in Philly wants to say those things. That's why we say them here. That's
why we say them, pal.
This is on the general manager not retooling the team.
Well, and you know what? That's why I'm saying you can't afford to lose AP. I still believe in Philadelphia, but if they don't win, it's going to be not just because of the quarterback. It will be because of things on defense, the offensive chirping, maybe the running game, like you said. Barkley, I mean, we got to get him. He's on. What is he on pace for? 900 yards?
Not even. We're talking 800 yards now. He's on pace for.
And you know what? Last year he came like gangbusters, and he got in the zone, and the team got in the zone, believed in him. And the toughest thing to do with the great running backs do it every year. And I got to be honest, he hasn't done it every year of his career. He really hasn't. And I'm not going to blame him for the Giants, but all I heard is, well, he's finally got an offensive line in front of him. So what's the situation with the offensive line? Are they doing the job that they should be doing to spring him? Or are the plays not being called enough for Barkley? Is the offensive coordinator saying, what is our real identity? Because
18 carries in the last 2 weeks for Barkley.
That's not good. That's not good enough. That's not good enough.
Your Bears are 2-2. Are they a player in the NFC, or do you think they're still fraudulent?
We'll find out Monday. We're going to find out Monday because we're going to be facing. See, Caleb Williams could put some things to rest. One, that Jaden Daniels is better than him so far, without a doubt. Okay, because they went to the playoffs. Jaden Daniels did have a great rookie
Went to the
season.
NFC Championship game.
Yeah. So the Bears, if they beat the Commanders, which is going to be a tough task, then
in Washington, by the way.
Yeah, you're 3-2 then. Okay. But if they lose and they're 4.5-point underdogs and they lose by 10, 15, which they could, then it's going to be back to square one. I happen to think the latter. They beat the Raiders. They were very fortunate. They should be 1-3. They went 2-2. It's about time we won one of those games instead of losing them all the time. But I happen to think we don't have a running game. That doesn't sell the play action for you. In other words, if we had a guy like Scatterbo, that fake handoff that Caleb Williams gives to Scatterbo, 6 guys are going at him, okay? And that makes things easier. We have a guy named Swift that's a running back, and we don't have a good running game. So we'll find out. But the Bears have had 9 takeaways in their first 4 games, and that's a ton. That's third in the NFL. If they don't have any takeaways, I think they're going to be a sieve when it comes to the running game. I happen to like Jaden Daniels. I still can't believe, and I say this in all sincerity, with Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Derek May, Penix, that they didn't want to interview anybody. They just went to Caleb. And all I see is May and Nix, and the balls are flying all over the place.
Yeah.
And I mystified.
I love Drake May. I mean, I do.
Yeah, and I mean, all the young quarterbacks are doing well. It's been a great draft class, including Caleb Williams, who had a big win against them.
Are you a fan of Caleb Williams?
Not really. I wasn't a fan of Fields either. And boy, does he have everybody buffaloed. Does Justin Fields have everybody buffaloed?
I think he stinks.
Oh, my God. He stunk. I mean, I can't believe Mitch Trubisky got replaced by it, but I don't feel bad for Mitch. He's made $51 million being a backup for Josh Allen. But Justin Fields is the false hope quarterback of the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay. He'll cover up some ills by being able to run. That only lasts for so long, and then it's over. So he's absolutely terrible. We did have an upgrade with Caleb Williams as far as that concerned, but we got to see better. I saw the quarterback rankings by a couple different services. Caleb Williams is ranked 23rd in the league, and Justin Fields is ranked 32nd. So these are the 2 quarterbacks, the last 2 Bear quarterbacks, and they're not in the top 20. So we need Caleb Williams to get going to some big game.
Let me keep you in the NFC here. What do you make?
I love when you like to do that.
Let's stay in there then. Let's go over to Raymond James on Sunday. What do you make of the matchup?
For a hell of a financial term, a company. Well, Raymond James Stadium.
Yeah, right. Mike, Baker Mayfield and what he's done this year so far. You've got Mac Jones. We just talked about him, man. He got thrown into the fire when he was up in New England. He got caught in that whole changeover with Belichick. Yeah. I mean, now he's just playing great football. 2 4-1 football teams going into that. It's at home. Mike Evans. There's just a ton of injuries on both sides of the football for both guys. Who do you like in this thing here? Because this is going to do a lot for the seeding also in the NFC. I mean,
I'll tell you what, Baker Mayfield, it's hard to believe that Carolina had Darnold and Mayfield in their same quarterback.
I cannot believe this guy's an MVP.
He was 15-1 and the odds are going down. I bet Seattle last week, and they played
I was stunned they won. I was too. I picked the Seattle Seahawks to win.
I thought Seattle would win, but Baker Mayfield's coming out party was against Seattle. You go and you win that game on the road. You know how to get out of trouble. You don't panic. he's jawing with the fans during the game. They're giving him all sorts of, he's giving them the double finger, screw you. I mean, this guy has a chip on his shoulder. Okay. I heard somebody say it's not good to have a chip on your shoulder. I disagree.
I love it.
I've always loved having a chip on my shoulder. It's motivated me. But some people that have a chip on their shoulder, it's called bitterness or regret or this or that. Not me. I like a guy that's got a chip on his shoulder. And that's,
my bitterness is when you lose.
That's it.
A chip is when you win.
When you win. Baker Mayfield is a revelation because the Cleveland Browns made the playoffs.
It's got to be one of the greatest reclamation projects of all time.
Let me ask you
here he is.
What's his biggest? To me, and I often said this, Mitch Trubisky getting the Bears into the playoffs 2 out of 4 years was probably one of the top 10 quarterback moments of all time. And Baker Mayfield getting the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs only for them to kick his ass out the door. Think about that.
You think you'd like to have that deal back with the Deshaun Watson situation?
I knew it was. First of all, Deshaun Watson shouldn't even be in. I didn't think he should be in the league. Sorry. And then they give him a guaranteed $250 million deal. I said, he's finished.
Became a raise.
Yeah, he's finished. I said, this guy don't have to play another game for God's sake.
What do you like in that game?
Boy, it's hard to go against Baker Mayfield. I think he's in his own right now. I really do. I think he's in his own. He thinks he believes in himself. He's got the system down. The system fits him. That's what it's all about. These coordinators come in.
5-1, that makes them if they win that game on Sunday.
Yeah. And you know what? That wouldn't surprise us. Would it surprise you, Baker? He's won every game by less than a touchdown. It's been less by 3 points or 4 points. So it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I like Tampa Bay's team, but when you look at it, how are they doing it? That's the quarterback. That's what we're all talking about with the quarterback issues, or whether it's in Chicago or Washington or Philadelphia. That's the kind of quarterback you want. It doesn't matter who's the wide receiver. It's the quarterback that makes the other guys better around him.
Let's go to another game here. Detroit, Kansas City. What do you like in this one here?
I love the Chiefs.
Even at 2-3.
Yeah, I love the Chiefs. Mahomes playing still, and that I remember
playing great football too. Playing great ball.
I remember the Baltimore game a couple weeks ago. I said it's going to be Kansas City. They're going to beat them, and they did. Patrick Mahomes, I love him, and when he plays in Kansas City, and he's the ultimate competitor, just like Baker Mayfield. This guy just wants to win, like you said, and not everybody is invested in winning. Okay. But your quarterback better be invested in winning. And you got Baker Mayfield, like I said, and Mahomes, two of the best, who are invested in trying to win. It makes them, and it makes their brand even bigger than the team brand at times.
Do you think Chicago does win that Washington game on Monday night?
I don't think so. I think they lose by a field goal, maybe. I think it's going to be a close game.
Oh, you think it's a 3-point game?
Well, they've been talking about the Hail Mary pass from last year when the Bears. The worst thing that could have happened in this town, in Chicago this week, folks, was there was a bye week. Okay, whenever there's a bye week, you're going to remember last year, the ball. Yeah, I'll see you later. Crazy. So, I think the Bears, would it shock me if they won? Yeah, it would. It didn't shock me they beat Vegas. But Pete Carroll, I thought, coached a terrible second half. I love Pete Carroll. But if you're going to only rush 4 guys, okay, Max Crosby's one of them. Don't get me wrong. The first half, they're rushing. They're all over Caleb. But in the second half, if you're still rushing 4 guys and you're not blitzing a corner every so often, you're not blitzing a linebacker every so often, you're just going to – they wore down. And Caleb Williams was back there able to get them in field goal range and throw a couple touchdowns. So I thought that Ben Johnson coached a better game than Pete Carroll, which surprised the hell out of me.
Absolutely. One other one here now. Dallas and Carolina. Dak Prescott is playing great football right now. If they win, get this, in the NFC East, all these teams, if they win, like you say, if Washington wins, they're 4-2. Philadelphia would be 4-2. Dallas would be 3-2-1. And you have the Giants pulling up the rear, which would be 2-4. Big weekend for the NFC East if they end up winning. What about Dak? You think Dak's on a 10-win team? You think he can pull that team? He's got the #1 offense in pro football right now. He's playing electric football. Their defense is 32nd, which is the worst in pro football.
I think Carolina's going to give him a game. It's only a 3
You
point.
think, you know what? Carolina, I thought would be one of the most improved teams this year.
I think they will be. Sometimes you don't come out of the gate, like you should. But I think that this coach over there, look, it's up to the quarterback once again. There's no comparison between the quarterbacks. But the Bears beat Dallas. And the Bears beat Dallas when they were hurting. So I think a 3-point spread, I think Carolina could upset.
Okay, I got to ask you this one here. Tomorrow, it is Cubs and Brewers. And I had Bob Nightingale on my program. He said this. He goes, let me tell you about the Brewers here. What a great year. You cannot lose to the Chicago Cubs because all the things you did, that is the Brewers' rival, is the Chicago Cubs. Now, it may not be the Cubs' rival, but for the Brewers, in that neck of the woods,
oh yeah,
all the things they did, it would demolish. Like somebody told me, the Dodgers could sweep them in the NLCS if they got there, but at the end of the day, you can't lose to the Cubs.
Well, they're minus.
Have you been surprised that they've evened the series?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, but I'll be honest with you. What Craig Counsell's done, and I said to say on my own show on ESPN 1000. What Craig Counsell has done, here's what he's got to do. It's not about the Brewers. Craig Counsell was taken by us, paid $8 million a year to put us where Milwaukee is. The coach of Milwaukee, okay, Murphy, he's beat Counsell twice. Tomorrow is the biggest game in Craig Counsell's career, and I'll tell you what. If he loses that game to his mentor again, who only makes $2.5–3 million, then next year he's going to hear the same thing. You're overpaid. You can't beat the guy that replaced you. Okay. The Brewers are a better team without you. Your whole pitching staff was hurt. Your managing is maybe backward. But if they win, all that goes away. I said today, I'll never mention how much he makes again. If he beats Milwaukee, because they were down, I'll never mention it again. Then I'll say the money was legit. He's handled the bullpen deftly. You're right. Milwaukee can't lose, but you know what people in Chicago are expecting, because the Cubs were in first place all the way up until late July by 5 or 6 games. And then they got Vaughn, or from the White Sox, fixed his swing. He went nuts for 2-3 weeks. And the next thing you know, we were 6 back. So it's a big game for Craig Counsell. It's the biggest game of his managerial career, because if he loses again to the guy that replaced him, he will take a beating. They are in a groove right now. They're swinging freely. They're going to be in Milwaukee, which I don't think is a bad thing, because it will be half filled with Cub fans.
Of course.
But we don't know who's even pitching yet. That's the problem, okay? And Cade Horton getting hurt was a bad situation for us. And you know what? My big argument today, was Monday night. If the Bears play Monday night and the Cubs win, you're going to have the Cubs and the Bears both playing on Monday night. And this may be one of the few times in the history of the National Football League where the Chicago Bears would lose in the TV ratings locally to the Chicago Cubs.
Wow.
Because are you going to watch Game 6? If you had a choice, are you going to watch Game 6 with the Bears and Washington, small market Washington, okay, not a big TV market, or are you going to watch the Cubs-Dodgers in Game 1 of the playoffs with Chicago's market and the LA market? That's going to be.
I'm going to watch Cubs-Dodgers.
I think most people would. My brothers, first of all, the Cubs were on Superstation WGN back in the day, so they got decades worth of fans. And I was arguing with my co-host, debating with them, Carmen DeFalco. I'm going, are you crazy? The Cubs are in the playoffs against the Dodgers. And you think they're going to turn on Jaden Daniels?
No, it's Cubs-Dodgers.
Absolutely.
Come on, man.
Somebody said today, there's nothing more exciting than Cub baseball in October. I go, well, that's interesting. There's only been like 28 games in like 50 years. Okay, in October.
I have to ask you this here now. How about when the Philly pitcher airmailed that the other night, and he airmailed it to end the series against the Dodgers? I mean, dude.
First of all, when I hear Pedro Martinez and all these,
I heard him after what he said.
When let me tell you something, because I'm getting good at my broken English. Believe me, I'm between Big Pappy, Ozzie Gee, and Pedro Martinez. Nobody speaks better than me. But when I heard Pedro Martinez, I just say, hey, it happened to everybody. When did that ever happen to you, Pedro?
I've never seen anybody airmail
Don't be a kiss ass because you're. See, this is what's wrong with jocks in the booth. Don't be a kiss ass. The kid's 24 years old. He should have known what to do with the baseball. Should have known he would have time to go to first. He panicked and he admitted it. And somebody said, "Well, at least he took responsibility." Well, whose fault is it? You got to take. That's where you're forced to take responsibility. It's like you're a safe cracker. And you got your head here, and you got your hand in there, and now you're I'll take responsibility for breaking into the safe. You're caught red-handed. My God.
A fucking safe cracker. That's classic.
Like I say, you got your hand in there, and the guy goes, hey, you broke in the safe. Well, yeah, I did. Well, at least you're taking responsibility. No, you got caught red-handed. The kid panicked. Oh, please. I feel so sorry for him. First of all, nobody felt sorry for Bill Buckner. Nobody felt sorry for Dennis Eckersley throwing that home run ball to Gibson. They still show Gibson going like this. They show it every year. He's forever. I don't care what's his name, Kettering. He's forever.
Yeah, it is.
Look, trade him. You're better off trading him. I don't know how
I got one.
He's gonna always come out of that bullpen, and people are gonna be going, here he comes.
Hey, Mike, I got one last one here for you. So one of my favorite moments of last night's game was this. Brian Dable going over to the neurologist doctor, going like this to the guy, get that guy's ass out of that blue tent. I need him out here. I don't want to put that shitty quarterback, Russell Wilson, back in. Get that guy. I mean, Mike, I don't know how you, if he loses that game last night, John Mara's firing that guy, because if they get blown out and they lose and he's doing that, telling a doctor on a quarterback they drafted in the first round, get his ass out of the concussion protocol.
There were 35. Listen, I don't want to say I'm not a popular guy, but when I was in the hospital once, I had 3 people visit me. This guy had 38 people in that tent. He had the fans. There was a guy in there. There was a guy in there smoking a cigarette going, I'm in row 5, but I had to come down to check on you. What the hell? I thought it was a wait. Were there chairs in there? Is there a TV? There's got to be a golf magazine while you're reading. How's he doing? How's he doing? You all right? All right, I got to get back to the wife. My God, they let everybody in. Dave, look, enough of the kissing of the guy. Okay, we understand he saved your damn job. Although last week, when you lost in New Orleans, you were teetering again. Okay?
Hey, Mike, I'd be curious who those 3 people were that came and visited you.
A couple buddies.
couple gambling.
My wife comes to visit me no matter what. But seriously, I mean, my God, it was like it was like Dr. Kildare. My God, we need him now.
Mike, I've been married 35 years. My wife told me about 10, 15 years ago to stop asking if she loves me anymore. And so it's you've been married for a long period of time. She looked at me. She goes, "Really?" And I go like this, and I go, yeah, okay, forget it. So I've never asked ever since.
Listen, let me tell you something. I just celebrated my 48th wedding anniversary.
Wow, congrats, man.
Yeah, he goes, congratulations. I'm going to make a corned beef sandwich for you. I mean, that's it. I mean, it's over. I mean, the glory days are done. You know it as well as I do.
God.
So
for your celebration on your 48th,
I had a corned beef sandwich on right.
A corned beef sandwich she made.
Yeah, she had salmon. And we watch an Errol Flynn movie, Virginia City.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah,
I will catch you again.
I look like a 50s detective today. I could have been in film noir.
No, you look like Dick Tracy today.
Chester Gould. Warren Beatty. I saw that movie. Have you ever seen the movie Dick Tracy with Warren Beatty? It blows.
Oh.
He's got Madonna, but he's got Madonna in there. He's got Ernest, not Ernest.
All right,
Gordon,
I'm gonna
he's
do
got
this
Al
right
Pacino. He's got everybody in that damn.
I'm going to do this right now. Do you have time next Friday for the same time right now?
Yeah, 3:30.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's schedule it. Let's schedule it next Friday, okay?
Yeah. Do I get a uniform? It's like,
We'll send you a JAKIB hat. What do you think?
Listen, this is always good. It's always good to talk sports. But I want to just let the Philadelphia fans know you're going to be okay, man. I mean, you know what? You're where we want to go. The Bears are where we'd like to be.
You know what? That's a great point. Their low point right now was last night.
Yeah. What's the record? What do you
4-2.
Yeah, and you're going to win. Look at last week's scores. There were some great teams that lost last week.
There was.
The Chargers lost last week, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, it's going to happen, but there's no doubt it was sort of an embarrassing way. But I would concentrate on you guys got to pick up some defenders, man.
Yeah, the defense was really atrocious last night. Mike, we got to roll.
All right, buddy.
Thank you so much, Mike. I will see you next week at the same time.
I'll be there. All right.
You got it. That's my friend, Mike North, man. God, is he funny. God, is he good. God, is he entertaining. Oh, boy. 3 people came and saw me. I'd like to know who those 3 people were. All right, hit the like button, guys. We appreciate all of you. I got to pay some bills, and then we're going to do some super chats here. We're going to bring Xander back on, and we're going to do some supers here. So, hey, guys, our good friends at Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America for a reason. They win cases for you. If you've ever been injured on the job, if you've ever been injured, do me a favor and call my friends at Morgan & Morgan. For over 25 years, these folks have built this firm into defending families like yours. Simple as that. Uber drivers, your home, if it ever has that scenario that you saw out in Los Angeles, or insurance companies then come in and give you the right settlements, this is exactly what Morgan & Morgan's all about. Go to forthepeople.com/Big Sills or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Sills or pound law 529, and do me a favor. You tell them Big Sill sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX. is always looking out for you.
Blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Who am I? Woo, woo. I'm the Scatterboo train. Wait, is this Zach Bond? This kid's like a bull. He just put his head right in his chest and put him on his ass. Okay, Cooper DeJean, where are you? That guy went. Did you see him rip his jersey off at the end at the post game? It's going there screaming, Scatterboo! God, is he a legend already? And that guy's going to Philly in 2 weeks. Holy cow. Is that guy going to be a stud in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at Lincoln Financial in 2 weeks? Here comes the Scatterboo train. Hey, was it me or did it look like at the end of that football game, Zach Bond and everyone didn't want to tackle the guy? It just did. They didn't want to tackle the dude. Holy cow, that guy was looking. He was like a bull running with the bulls. You ever see that in Spain? The Scatterboo train. Woo, baby, the S train. Oh man, hey, where's Zach Bond? Hey Zach, I'm coming for your ass, bro. Oh, there he is. Hey, Zach Bond. He started on the 5-yard line, and then guess what happened? He started on the 5-yard line. He ended up on the 2. What in God's name happened, man? The Scatterboo train. We got cabooses, and then we got the Scatterboo train. Holy cow. Yeah, Zach. I bet Zach's got a big old black and blue mark on that guy's chest. Oh, by the way, real quick. Do you guys are playing now? I'm going to bring Xander and we're going to finish up these supers here. So am I right when I say this? That's Justin Jefferson versus Keely Ringo. Ooh. Oh. Let's put numbers on it. 175 and up. Holy cow. I see a cutie, man. Let me see that. Big Sills. Xander. Let me see that. No. Let me see that. What do we got going here, man? Come in here. Let me see that.
See what? My nephew?
Yeah, let me see that nephew of yours.
JP, come here. You want to show yourself?
Come here, man.
Come here, dude. Look, he's got my bed hat on.
How you doing, brother? Eagle
That's
fan?
nephew. That's my nephew, JP.
Are you an Eagle fan?
Yeah, look. He's shot. Look.
Ah.
I got the Eagle shirt for him.
Favorite player?
I don't know if he has one yet.
Okay.
He's in Florida. He lives in Florida. All right, go get what you got to get.
Very good, man.
Yeah, my nephews are in my niece, my brother's daughter, who's going to be my goddaughter. Her christening is on Sunday. So they flew in from Florida today.
Generational Eagle fans.
Yeah, right. No doubt.
No
All right, let's rattle these supers, brother.
No wonder you're ticked off.
Yeah, but he's in Florida. He lives in Florida.
Right.
And I got him an Eagle. I made him an Eagle fan. And he's walking through the airport. Now his parents are dealing with go birds in the airport. They're not Eagle fans. They live in Florida. So I'm like, yeah, welcome to the Eagle fandom, folks.
Hey, bro, one thing I did like what Mike said, liked a lot of things Mike said, but, bro, I mean, isn't this on Nick? Nick's got to get this under – dude, he's got to straighten this thing out. He's got to put this stuff to bed, no? I mean, he's got – this is on him. Like you said about an hour ago, you went like this. You go, Hey, dude, when I hear everything is going sideways like that, that's on Nick. That's on the head coach.
I agree. I think I appreciated Mike's perspective from a sense of the Bears are trying to be the Eagles. But where I disagree with the notion is we're not the Bears. We're trying to sustain greatness now. We're at a different Mike, love you. And I appreciate that you want to be on our level. But greatness takes greatness. And it's not easy to accomplish. So I appreciated the perspective from a sense of it grounds you a little bit because we are a great football team and we are going to be all right.
And you're complaining at 4-2.
Yeah, that record to me is funny until proven otherwise.
But okay, don't go 4-2, go 20-2. I mean, dog.
We'll see what they're able to do, man. We'll see what they're able to do.
That's right. How do they pick themselves up here? Let's get to these supers, my friend.
Yeah, let's rattle through them. Appreciate everybody, by the way. We had a ton of super chats. I couldn't even get through them. Mike said he would have waited. He would have been waiting for 20 minutes. I mean, we had a lot of super chats. Khaled says, tell me which ones you got. Did you get this one? If we had Josh Allen, did we lose one game?
No.
All right, so did you get
I did. Okay,
I thought that's where we ended.
What do you think? Do you think
if we had Josh Allen, did we lose a game? That's tough to say. I mean, Josh Allen is literally lifting up,
He's the best. He's
my favorite quarterback in football. He is. I just love the way he plays the game.
Do you believe that Jalen Hurts can carry a football team if there's deficiencies in the offensive huddle?
I believe Jalen Hurts can carry a football team in spots. I don't think, and look, that's one of his best traits. People always say, what's the it factor? And they're like, I heard someone on the other, I was listening to a show and they're like, I don't know. How do you determine what the it factor is? I know how to determine the it factor. At least I do in my perspective.
Crunch time.
When the pressure in the pipe is the tightest.
Yeah.
Who rises up and who shrinks.
I don't give a shit about games. I don't give a shit about games against New Orleans. I don't care about that. I care about playoff games.
Right.
Okay.
I agree. All right. Khaled says, Sills, as I'm watching Hurts in the pocket have so much time, how come these wide receivers can't get open? Is it Hurts or the receiver? Khaled, the receivers are wide open.
I think it's on the quarterback. I think that they're trying to do things again to the quarterback. The quarterback is not the best pocket passing quarterback. I don't know how many years I'm going to tell you folks this.
Dude,
but again, I do want to go back and make sure that I underline this to you. Just because he's not a good pocket quarterback doesn't mean he's not going to win games.
Right.
Go back to doing the things that make him great. But Xander, that counters what you want. Because you know what you guys are looking at? You built a team for a high-powered passing game. You don't have a high-powered quarterback. He's the only guy that doesn't fit.
It's back to the evolution thing, though. It's not that I don't like Jalen Hurts. It's that where do you go when defenses have caught up to what we've tried to do, when offensive linemen have gotten hurt at the clip that they've gotten hurt?
The huddle has to evolve, not
right.
the quarterback.
The evolution, I think, is where the questions
He's
come.
not going to evolve. The huddle.
I will say though, the one thing I noticed,
the huddle has to evolve.
I agree. The rewatching that game though. Route concepts weren't really an issue in this game. I know they weren't great. I'm not saying we're stepping out, but there was crossing routes. There was multi-layered crossing routes. There was AJ and Devontae were open a lot in this game. A lot.
Quarterback's not going to find him, dude.
He's struggling right now. He's not having a great season right now. It doesn't mean he can't turn it around. I think he's better than what he's showing. Ishmael says, we have no offensive mind and no balls. I knew our offense is lame when we ran 4 tush-push plays on the goal line. Run the ball.
Dude, the most successful play you run is the tush-push play. I mean, those go routes.
Says,
you know what it is? It's go routes and tush-push.
He says, would you bench Jalen? I wouldn't bench Jalen. That's not the answer.
Not right now.
That's not the answer right now. Look, if this team falls
on the way, if you don't have Jalen Hurts in your quarterback huddle right now in your huddle, you're not winning a Super Bowl.
I don't agree with Mike, who said if you had any other quarterback, you wouldn't have a Super Bowl. I don't agree with that. Dude, this offense is one of the best offenses. And I think we've all lowered our expectation to meet the team instead of having expectations for what this offense can be.
The quarterback's making you lower it.
But I think that was my point about Mike. Josh says, Xander, where does John get his confidence from that that we're going to be better. We can't pass. We can't run. The D is average. The special teams is average, and they're quitting when things get hard. This team is soft. It's tough to dispute anything Josh just said. Is it right?
No, I'm looking at 24 quarters of football, not the record. You know, do you now see how I look at it, Xander? I don't look at that record at all. I go 24 quarters. How do you give me a grade on how you think they've played 24 quarters?
I don't think it can be anything higher than a C, and that might be generous.
C minus?
Yeah.
Yeah, C minus.
I think
C minus football.
Lord Zed, I think B is egregious. I think that's
B is being very generous.
That is as generous as it gets.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think it's not B foot. Because you know what, too? To what Lord Zed just said? Because if that's the case, that means you don't have a lot of room for improvement. So what, you got one more step for improvement? You think they're only going to get a little better?
Yeah, they're capable of a lot more. Philly
So
Eagle,
Xander, your point, when you're saying C minus, they still got a lot of room to grow, man, and get better at it.
Yeah, but the problem with it is that do we have the pieces to realize that growth this year? Without the offensive line. Defense, I'm not even I know the defense played really bad, but I'm sorry, I'm focused on this offense, man. This offense has to be better. We talked about it all offseason. What I say to you, Sills, the offense is going to carry the defense early in the year until they get their feet under them.
I never thought it would.
I know you didn't, and you're proving to be right in that regard. There was a lot of people, Sills, talking to me this morning saying, and last night on the post-game show, you know, Sills has been spot on about this team this year. You know, the other take somebody brought up Akbar, if he's in here, Akbar, appreciate you. You know, he said, Sills was telling me, you guys are building for 26, not 25. Maybe that's what it looks like. Philly Eagle, I wanted to thank you personally, man. You dropped a $100.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you, bro.
Earlier in the program. And look, he's following it up with more. So, Philly Eagle, thank you, bro.
Absolutely.
Running the tush push 4 plays in a row says a lot about what the coaches think of the offense. I think that's a fair way to look at it.
Yeah, I do too. And the reason why you're so successful in the red zone is because of that tush push. It's not because of your passing game or your run game right now. Actually,
Jalen does normally do pretty good down there, which is why
he does. He
normally reads the field well, which is a tough thing to do. The red zone's a tough. Everything condenses in the red zone.
I can't tell you how many teams in the NFL are so good from 20 to 20, but when you get into that red zone 20 and in, man, that changes the whole dynamic. Look at the Cowboys. The Cowboys are spectacular 20 to 20. Take a look at their red zone. They're not great getting the ball in the end zone.
Here's Derek Willis. What's up, dude? At the end of the day, the damn OC sucks. Everybody knows the plays we running. Yeah, but Derek, they knew the plays we were running last year. We were too good.
That's right.
We're not. We got a personnel problem right now. Personnel, you know, and execution. It's more about personnel and execution than it is about, you know, again, Derek, I agree. The offensive coordinator is not impressive. I agree with that. But is that more important than the execution? And that, I don't think so.
Here, a year ago, I was afraid you punched me in the face. Now, if you hit me, I'm not. I'm not afraid of you anymore. Hey, did you agree with what I said about Mike Tyson? I said this about your football team.
I thought that was a good. You see that? That's indisputable right now. Nobody fears us. Jackson Dart and Cam Scadaboo lost to the Saints last week. They came in with their nuts hanging. Yeah. Let's call it spade a spade.
Well, you know how you got that aura of invincibility you guys had going into that game? I think you lost it last night. I think teams now are not afraid. You know why? You showed you can bleed. Well, you showed you can lose.
And I think you're even seeing that. And I guess I would be, you know, I would be happening with me as evidenced by my commentary on the programs today. But I think you're seeing it too with the fan base. Like the fan base, and rightfully, there's been this aura of like, no matter what happens,
invincibility.
We win, man. And it was true for a while. It was true. We figured out a way. Even yesterday when we were down 10 and we were driving, I'm like, man, we're going to come back and win this game. Even last week when we lost, I'm like, we're going to beat this team.
Let me ask you this. I see Yale gave me just a great topic here. If you go out and beat the living piss out of Green Bay and Detroit, do you gain that back?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a different time of the year, too. That's when you're really – that's when you're really starting to get into the time. I mean, that's close to Thanksgiving. That's when you're starting to see What teams are going to compete in the playoffs? Now, it's still a little early. Remember, who looked like the best team early in November last year? Detroit. Detroit did not hold up when it got to late in the year. So we are in a spot where they could correct. I mean, it's not you can't say they couldn't correct.
Health has some of the issues here.
Lord might be right. You might not be able to
get Carter. You get Carter and Q back. You think your defense is better?
Carter and Q, no doubt.
Okay.
No doubt. Yeah.
You get Nolan back?
Q was missed last night, dude.
You get Q and Nolan and Carter back. Think that helps you?
100%.
Okay.
And they're 3 great players.
Okay.
Well, Nolan, you've been proven to be right. Look, I like Nolan, but he's got to stay on the field, you know. We're 6 games into the year. He's missed 2.
This is where I'm wrong, though.
Hamstring. So hamstring. He had a hamstring injury in the game.
Bro, the Jalix Hunt thing, man, doesn't look like. I mean, I don't know.
He's just not ready yet. He's just developing. He's not ready.
Yeah,
yet.
I mean,
here's Abe. He says if we get swept by the Giants, good luck. I agree, Abe. Abe, you think I'm bad today? You thought I was bad today? Hey, if we get swept by the Giants, I will be insufferable.
Dude, the Giants though have already won this, man. They split with you.
Yep, they win. You're right.
That's like the Cowboys getting a tie against the Packers.
HKP says AJ answered that like Jalen is the problem, and everyone in that locker room knows that. It starts with Jalen. He did answer it like that. I agree. I mean, he won't even mention Jalen's name. They asked him about Patullo, and he said, "Hey, Patullo has been excellent."
Oh my!
It doesn't even seem like Jalen wants to mention AJ's name.
Man, he's totally
even in the tweet today. He tweeted out "say," but he didn't say anything about Jalen. I don't know. I'm not trying to like start a conspiracy. I'm just trying to put the puzzle pieces together. HKP says, I would trade Jalen, AJ. He's talking. I don't think he's saying trade him. I think he's answering our question we asked earlier of which one would you do. AJ's better at his position.
Yeah, but here, who's harder to replace, the quarterback or the receiver?
Obviously, the quarterback.
The receiver. Yeah. The receiver is easier to replace.
But you got a rare group right now. Khaled says, Hurts isn't even mobile anymore. Has anyone noticed? I don't know.
I don't think it's him. I think it's them.
It's defenses, though, too.
It's them and the defenses.
Mikey says, just bring in an RPO offensive coordinator. It's not that complicated. I don't know why they don't do that. They keep bringing in Kevin Patullo, Kellen Moore, all these passing dudes. I mean, Shane was the only one who really evolved to Jalen. People say that Kellen did, but he really just dumbed down it for Jalen. Like, he just took more off Jalen's plate.
Say what you just said again. They bring all these what in?
Passing guys.
Well, who's the passing guy? It's Nick. Nick's the passing guy. They bring these coordinators in for the coach.
Yeah, Nick knows what he's
player.
I agree with this. They don't. I don't know if they like each other very much. I don't know.
Hey, listen, that's why they're regressing in the quarterback, because they're not bringing the right coordinators in. Dude, they're not helping Hurts. Hurts is winning games. You know what? Dude, I can't believe if I were Jalen Hurts, I would be very disappointed in the hiring practices of the Philadelphia Eagles. If you're going to have a revolving door every year at coordinator, at least hire a guy that goes to my skill set.
Yeah, I agree. Justo says, would it have been any better if Kellen was here? I'm not sure. Greg says,
not without a run game, no.
Yeah, right. Jalen couldn't evolve as a quarterback, even at, we already read that. That was a bad take. Casual Sheep Gardner says, I view his inability to evolve as a Nick problem. Well, they stopped evolving him. I don't think he has an inability to evolve. Is there a ceiling? Absolutely. I mean, everybody's got a ceiling to some extent, right? I mean, you can't turn, somebody joked with me last night. I could teach you how to play offensive line, but you can't play offensive line. I'm 5'11". I get it.
Hey, I'll teach you the technique, but that don't mean you're blocking anybody.
Exactly, right. Exactly. Mikey Shred says, do you trust Hurts believes he is better than he is? Or do you think Hurts believes he's better than he is?
No. I think Jalen Hurts is a pretty grounded guy. I think he doesn't believe in what they're teaching him right now.
I think he does have belief in himself, though, and he should.
No, you don't accomplish the shit that guy's accomplished. Dude, look at the resume. Come on. Jesus criminy. Let's not take the Giant game last night and rip the resume up. Are you really want to do that, Xander?
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
You're not ripping that resume up, are you, over one game?
No. But my concern, again, that's why I started our segment earlier with my biggest concerns are One, the effort, because it makes me think the team stopped
That's
playing
the
for the coach
coach.
and the leaders. And two, the offensive line, because if you don't have that O-line, does it force you, though, to have to play a different style of offensive football, where then you start to see, okay, are Jalen's deficiencies going to get exposed?
Bro, you're naming Coach and Howie here.
Right
You're naming the Coach and Howie.
It's been got that one. We got that one. That was a bad take, Kyle. Carson Beck. I love AJ more. No. All right, I think we got a lot of these. Christopher says, what the F is up with people who can't criticize Hurts? He played like shit last night. It's all not all on him, but a lot is. He's making 50 M's. Come on, bro. I think people are. Look, I mean, you're seeing more of it now, but there's just a section of people who can't handle any criticism of him. Like I said, Jalen Hurts can handle it. I promise you, he can. He's a grounded dude. He's a smart dude. He's not a buttercup. He's not.
Let me ask you this. Do you think last night you had a problem with the effort more with the defense or more with the offense?
Effort?
I thought the defense started not wanting to hit that kid.
Yeah. Dude, the one play that's stuck in my brain, Jahad Campbell standing past the first down marker, Jackson Dart jumping into him. I'm like, dude, go and hit a guy, man. What are you waiting for the quarterback to come to you for?
I didn't get
Scott
that.
Says, that was the worst game I've seen from Bond. I agree.
Oh, he was terrible in that game, man.
No, defensive tackle, he was lost without Carter.
Right. Hey, it affected the line. Did Nakobe get on the field last night?
Just special teams, 5 snaps.
Okay. I'm glad they didn't put him in there.
Imagine Mike North and Mad Dog Russo. That'd be great. Do you have a connection to Mad Dog?
I do.
Yeah, I was going to say, this guy knows everybody.
Oh, you want mine?
I think it'd be good. I don't know if he would. He's an ESPN guy. I mean, he's probably a busy dude at this time of the day.
Yeah. It would probably be more so that he's probably doing something, but if he's not, he'll do it for me.
Yeah. B Pump says, I'm disappointed at Jalen Hurts' leadership. I think there's some validity to that.
I do too. I think it's spotty though right now. Pump. I don't think he's a bad leader all the time. I just think sometimes when situations come up like they have the last 2 weeks, I don't think he's very good. I think he's too corporate. I think he sounds like Nick. Nick and him are on the same page with management, and I think it's rubbing the team. Folks, I want you to keep listening to what I'm saying because it's going to come back to be true. When you have Barkley and Devontae and AJ all saying, I've got to defend my guy, AJ Brown, and you hear we're working the process from both the coach and the quarterback. The coach and the quarterback are not on the same page with the rest of the skilled guys in the huddle. I'm going to keep my foot on that. And I think that's what's rubbing people the wrong way in that huddle, dude.
Here's Matt. Matt says, does a guy like McVay get the most out of Jalen? Oh, I got an answer for you, Matt. I don't know if you're going to like it.
I don't think McVay would want to coach him.
McVay would one, have never have drafted him, and two, if he got him, he would have traded. He traded Jared Goff for Matt Stafford. Yeah, Jared Goff led him to a Super Bowl.
He's not going to bring a guy like that into his huddle.
Matt, though, let me just explain to you, because I don't think this is much of a knock on Jalen. I think this is – have you ever – Matt, you listen to Bird 365. John talks about a lot this mentality and offensive minds in today's game. They don't put things on the quarterback anymore. They want to dictate everything that's done by an offense. McVay is one of those guys. He's a guy that can get away with it because he's so good at it. He would not say, let me change my offense for Jalen Hurts. He would ship him out. He would.
Xander, you just said exactly what I was trying to explain to you yesterday. All these coaches want to have the offense in their hands and not so much in the quarterback's hands. That's what Shane did for Jalen. He put the game in Jalen's hands. That game was in his hands. And ever since 22, they've taken that out of his hands. And all these coordinators that he's had since, they've had the control of the offense.
Yeah.
And he's wobbled in it.
Yeah, and I got proof of that too, that what you're right, because last night in the fourth quarter, you can see on my Twitter timeline, I tweeted out, time to put the ball in Jalen Hurts' hands. See that? And then my very next tweet, no, massive interception for the Giants. That was the moment.
Yeah, because he was running their offense. And he doesn't see in their offense. because
he
he's not
had
a packet guy.
Look at Matt. If he had to, at gunpoint, would it look different? Yeah, it would look different. It would.
Oh, Z. Rough day for you, huh?
No, not a rough day at all. It's a beautiful life. You kidding me? I'm alive, dude. I'm alive. My family's in town. I mean, come on. It's a beautiful life. But it was yeah, I haven't been this upset at this Eagles team in a while, dude. This team has been ultra successful for the last 2 years.
Help me out here. How's the city been like today? Like if you've had a chance.
I've been in my studio, but there's a lot of people, a lot of people bitching on social media and stuff. So, it is what it is. It's Philly, and when you get that, I'll tell you what, JP, who you guys just met, he's not in here right now, but I bought him this little Eagles sweatshirt. Here he comes. Oh, wait, guys, Amelia's there too. He was walking through the airport today, though, this morning. He said, "I got go Birds a bunch." I'm like, even after the loss, he's like, "Yeah, I got it." So
that's fantastic.
Yeah, so
that's fantastic. Do we get them all, Z?
We got them all, man.
So, how do you feel about? Okay, so this time off. One last thing for you. What's the message you think with Nick as he starts to address the media? He addresses his team. I'll let you out of here after this, man, so you can go play with your kid. Let me ask you, what do you think the message?
He's screaming. JP's
I love it.
He's quiet.
One last question. I got your uncle on this one last question here. All right. What do you think the message is from Nick?
The message from Nick has got to be, that's not who we are. These last 2 games are not who we are. And we all know that. All right. We all know that. We're better than this. We're capable of more of this. We got to work our ass off every day. We got to be honest with ourselves, look ourselves in the mirror, get the most out of ourselves individually so that we can come together as a team. And let's keep building, man. No, don't blink. If you blink, you're in trouble.
That's right. You're done.
We're blinking. I'll blink. They shouldn't blink.
That's right. Because if you do, you're done.
Yep.
Okay. All right, Big Z. We will catch you because we get a chance to watch some football this weekend. Some college football on Saturday and also some NFL football. Hey, by the way, keep an eye on this. Dallas over Carolina. You think Dallas wins that game?
Dallas, Carolina. I think Dallas wins.
That means they're 3-2-1. Do you think on Monday night that Washington holds off and beats the Bears? That would mean they're 4-2.
I think Washington's going to beat the Bears, but that's an interesting game.
It is. It's in Washington.
Yeah.
So that would mean this come Tuesday of next week. 3-2-1 Dallas, 4-2 Washington, 4-2 Eagles, and then you'd have a 3-2-1 Dallas Cowboy team.
Yeah, that's why I said to you earlier. Division's going to get good right now. Division's going to get good. So let's see what happens.
All right, bro. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much,
dude.
my friend.
Finish up strong. Appreciate you, Sills.
You
love
got
everybody.
You,
I know a lot of you are mad at me today. We need some tough love right now. Love all you guys.
Got you, man. Appreciate you, Xander. I tried. Listen, I don't want to come off like that. So I'm going to back up and say this. Was I surprised about last night? I was not surprised. Now, you getting killed like that, yes. You getting killed like that, I was surprised. But the things that I've been trying to tell you for 10 months is coming to a head here. Look, I happen to agree. Yeah, I took that topic a little bit and kind of massaged it in what you said. Look, you could change the entire narrative versus Green Bay and Detroit if you take care of business with Minnesota and New York. And when you come out of the bye and you got Green Bay and Detroit, dude, you could change the entire narrative around where people are going to go. You can get your invincibility back. You can get it back if you win those games. My problem has been for 24 quarters, I think you've played C- football. Okay? Hey, Mr. Hill, the one thing that I'll tell you that we've been very, very, very honest about with you. Last year, you guys, about Jalen Hurts, wins the Super Bowl MVP, goes on and wins. One thing I never changed. I still thought the quarterback was limited then. I still think he's limited. If he doesn't have a loaded team, which many of you fought me on, he can't carry a football team. He's incapable. He cannot carry a football team. You want to hear something crazier? Carson Wentz had a span where he could carry a football team. Hurts doesn't have that ability. He plays within his own confines and his own skill set as good as anybody. He is a glorified Wildcat quarterback who can throw. It's not a rip. He's really the best passing Wildcat quarterback like ever. And he can win games here. Brock Purdy has limitations as well. So does Lamar. All quarterbacks do. But here's the difference. Gardner, Brock Purdy, you wouldn't consider him an elite quarterback, would you? You could go, thank you, Sue. Would you consider Jimmy Garoppolo a great quarterback? He got to a Super Bowl. You don't have to have an elite quarterback to get to a Super Bowl. All of you didn't like that comment when I said it. You don't have to be elite. This is correct. This is right here. This is the problem with the team. By the way, everyone's correct. All of this comes down to there's 2 points. Inability of Howie Roseman to replace the talent you had on defense. And the offensive line, Jeff Stoutland and his offensive line are underperforming. Right now, Saquon Barkley has the old New York Giants offensive line that he's – dude, how about that comment by Mike North? It took the Giants 1 year to replace Saquon Barkley. 1 year. Get this. Garoppolo is horrible. Hurts isn't in the same category as him. Still got to a Super Bowl. So according to Twiz, a horrible quarterback can take a team to a Super Bowl. He made my point. He just made my point. Garoppolo is horrible. Still led a team to a Super Bowl. Colin Kaepernick was horrible. Still led a team to a Super Bowl. You don't have to be an elite quarterback to go to a Super Bowl. To Twiz's point. You guys think you have to have an elite guy to get to that game. You don't. Twiz just said it. Right? Don't ever put Garoppolo in Hurts' league. Why? He went to a Super Bowl too. I mean, Trent Dilfer down here. Not an elite quarterback. And they won it. You don't need an elite quarterback to win a Super Bowl. You need an elite quarterback to win multiple. Great take. It's a great take. Seals, did you see AJ's tweet clarifying why he's excuse me. Seals, did you see AJ's tweet clarifying why he said he wasn't in a meeting with Hurts and Barkley? No, I didn't. I haven't seen that. I've been on the air. If you could type in why he clarified. I'm so sick of him clarifying. Jesus Christ, it's like a fight. Do you know the kid that Xander was talking to makes more sense than A.J. Brown sometimes? I don't even think that kid was 10. I mean, right? Hurts ain't even mid. Mid would be 15. 31st is abysmal. Kid's 5. JP's 5. Got more common sense than AJ. I'm sick of that guy clarifying. Dude, I'm done with clarifying. The kid's 5 years old. He's getting go birds. Totally dope. We're going to call it Bob Langing. And of every time Brown clarifies or corrects a tweet, Bob Langing. That guy is such a saboteur. I mean, you talk about a propaganda master. Bob Lang is completely it. He's got every single one of those beat writers that call the Eagles and work and cover the Eagles. He's got those guys scared death. They are scared to death. Every single time that he gets a call. Hey, when Bob Lang called me and then sent me a text and he goes, dude, what are you doing? And I was like, what do you mean, what am I doing? He goes, what are you doing? I'm like, hey, Bob, I don't speak gibberish. And I know who he is because we've had run-ins when he was with the 49ers. So he calls me. He goes, what are you doing? What are you ripping the general manager for? I go, because he was a shit guy when it came to drafting all the way up until 2020. Before that, he was terrible. He couldn't draft an edge rusher to save his life. He's never drafted a corner prior to Q in his entire life, and he can't land on a safety. What are we talking about here? What did I misspeak on? Well, why would I put Nick Sirianni on? Since you dogged the general manager. I go, dogging the general manager? I'm just talking truths on the general manager. I'll never put anybody on your show. I said, I don't care then. I don't need you. Then he started sending me shitty texts. I sent him to Xander. You're not controlling me, guy. Dude, he's right. Anytime, oh, by the way, when I said Howie Roseman and Associates, they called my bosses and said that I was a defamation. They were going to call the Jewish Defamation Society on me. I have never told you guys that. That it was anti-Jewish. And I was like, I didn't know CPAs were all Jewish. I had no idea that they had the market on that. I mean, yeah, and they did. Only people that had a can of stones has been Jacob. They were going to call the Jewish Defamation Society on me if Xander and Big Joe didn't fire me because they thought I was being anti-Jewish because I called them Howie Roseman and Associates, or I called them a librarian or a glorified CPA. That's what it was. I called him a glorified CPA because he was taking the defense apart, and they didn't like that. Any kind of negativity, listen, the quarterback and the head coach are off limits, and the GM. Those three people, dude. Look at last year with Howard Eskin. When BG was talking about the relationship between AJ, BG was right. Brandon Graham is right. I think AJ Brown can't stand Jalen Hurts. I don't mean as a human. I'm talking professionally. I don't think he can stand him. Hey, funny, I saw Merrill Reese on with Seth Joyner. That's because Seth goes on WIP and he's paid by WIP because the Eagles cleared. I found this out. The Eagles cleared that Seth would be okay. You want to know why Seth Joyner is not really anti-Eagles anymore? Because the blessing from the Eagles for him to go on WIP was given by the PR department. You know why he's not on here now? I found this out too. If you want to go on WIP, you can't be on JAKIB. I never told the Krauses that. That's a fact. If he wanted to go on IP and do that Monday hit, he can't work here. Jeffrey Lurie and Rose. Yeah, I'm not going down that lane with that. But AJ Brown is tired of Hurts in-game play. I think that's true. Says, why are the Eagles so butthurt? Truth makes you look at yourself in the mirror. They don't think they do any wrong. They think they're doing everything right. Let me pay some bills here. Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in all of America. We are so proud to have John Morgan and Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in the world, here with us here on the National Football Show with Big Sills and with the Krauses. We are so proud of that. We appreciate them being here. Folks, if you're ever injured, okay, this is the place for you to go, because I promise you, I've known these folks for over 25 years. They are going to defend you and your family like no other. Go to forthepeople.com/Big Sills or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Sills or pound law 529. And do me a favor, you tell them Big Sills sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows that QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES.
Eagles.
Big Sales National Football Show. How you doing? Get a chance to watch some college football tomorrow. Some big games, too. Some great games. And I'll be watching the NFC East Sunday and Monday because I do think it's going to get awful competitive here. Yeah, by the way, I gotta send some love out to my boy, Xander. Xander, you did a great job, man. Did the post, did all the content this week, and I think our shorts are just killing it. Shorts, the videos are killing it, and you guys have been absolutely spectacular. Yes, even you, Emrys. Guys, do me a favor. Have yourselves a great weekend. We will see you on Monday going 2 to 6. God bless all of you. Hit the like button on the way out, and we'll catch you on the flip side.